like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
Woo! Happy Wednesday, guys. June 12th. Welcome back to part 5 of our reviewing the original DD of Keith Gill, aka Roaring Kitty. We're going to let some folks come into the chat here before we get started, and let me bring on our very first guest. You know him as Mediocre Trader. However, we affectionately call him the Monkey Tamer. Mediocre, how you doing, amigo?
What's up? How you doing?
I saw that our other friend, the Macedonian, was live last night. I got to chat with him in his YouTube chat right as he was finishing up his live stream, and he said he had to work tonight. So unfortunately, we do this again, but we'll get him on here one of these days. I'd love to hear his thoughts live with us going through.
It'd be nice
Keith
to chat with him again. I mean, I
Yeah.
met him. He's a nice guy. I like the guy.
I'd love to hear his thoughts about some of Keith Gill's original DD, and what exciting times we live in right now with
Yeah, it's
GameStop.
crazy.
With
It's
GameStop,
crazy.
I thought, you know, that we'd get all 10 parts of this series done before any major run up, and we had what was that? The morning of the 7th, last Friday, we had that. We had the major run up Thursday night, and then the rug pull, I'll call it, on Friday morning. I use that word tongue in cheek, Mediocre. The
And
rug
I was
pull.
on vacation, Tony, in the boonies with no internet service. It was a fucking nightmare. I survived, Tony.
Just to get everybody up to speed, what this all is about, and let me put the chat up here so you guys can see it. We are reviewing some of Keith Gill's original DD. We've been going through month by month. We started back in July of 2020, and we're skipping ahead about a month at a time, really to try and get a brain refresh for those who've seen it before, or for those who haven't seen it before, just an inkling about what was he talking about GameStop back in the original due diligence. And so far, Mediocre, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think we've established a couple things. He had a very good value play analysis of GameStop.
Yes,
it was the market cap was under the book value. That's a very traditional value play right there. Right?
Yes. Yep.
He had a thesis that that was not a good valuation because there was a console refresh coming. The short interest was really high, although that was not even part of his focus. He just said, hey, this stock price is too low. The market cap is under book, and they're about to likely bring in more income than Wall Street is expecting.
Yeah, that's what I took from his DD as well.
What we haven't heard him talk about yet, and tonight we're going to cover November. So July, August, September, 5 months into the play, we have not heard him yet talk about synthetic shares, naked shorts, DRS, hedge funds. What else, Mediocre? Anything that anybody talks about today.
Yeah, it's like not even He wasn't talking about any of the stuff that's being talked about today.
And that is just it. I'm just mentioning that because I don't know if everybody knows that. That was never part of his thesis.
no.
He was just looking at the finances. He was excited that it was cheap relative to what he saw as the potential run up in price. In the last video, what did he call the 140% short interest? Do you remember what he called it?
Irrelevant, basically, is what he said.
He called it a sideshow.
Sideshow, yeah.
It wasn't even something he was focused on. Now, I am very curious tonight or in part 6 if we start seeing him pay more attention to it. We're at $16 now on tonight's segment, and this is close to the highest. I'm looking at the chart there. It looks like it might have got over 18 for part of that day. You see you can't see the chart, can you?
No, not yet.
This is this is 1657 here, and it looks like 20ish, 1850, $19 earlier in the day. While we got a couple people in here, can I get you guys to vote with a 1 or a 2 to help me pick a beer? Anybody who's in the chat, I'm not even going to show you the beer. Just type 1 or 2. I'm going to put number 1 on the left.
I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm drinking this Peroni right here.
2 on the right. Matt, how you doing? Broke Ape, what's up? Ralph, good evening. Frankie, what's up, amigo? Groundhog Eater, good evening. Tavaco, thank you for the vote. Steven, thank you. Chaser, I'd like to get. So far, we're tied. I need a tiebreaker. Mediocre, you can type in a vote too.
You want me to vote? You got it.
Raul says, I'm a shot guy. There'll probably be some shots this weekend. We need something to celebrate. We need another run-up. We need another run-up on GameStop. I'm planning on being up at 4 o'clock in the morning, so I got to pace myself tonight. 1 or 2 beers. The vote, Mediocre says my vote is number 1. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. I think that the ones have it based on the votes that have come in. And vote number 1 is for Double Trouble, the twin dream. I got a redhead and a brunette. That Mediocre.
Look out.
Whew. This says it's a double IPA brewed with cactus water. Now, my wife tried one of these last night, Mediocre. It was a sample pack from Shiner Brewing Company, a local Texas brewer. And so there's 4 different flavors. I just pulled out 2 tonight. And she was reading. She really likes IPAs. I like them if they're not too hoppy. But she was reading it. She's like, baby, what is cactus water? Brewed with cactus water. I was like, hell if I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen that a few times myself.
I don't know what cactus water is, but we're going to find out. It's probably just a marketing term, would be my guess.
It's water infused with cactus, Tony. That's my take.
Maybe so.
You know how it goes. You gotta sell the people what they want.
This is a grown-up show, guys. There will be alcoholic beverages consumed. If you're a man that wears pink panties and you're offended by grown men in their own house having a drink, tune out now because it's about to get rowdy. And we might even smoke something up in here too, Mediocre. Nice. We might even smoke something up in here too.
My son offered me to go to a cigar and bourbon Father's Day event on Sunday.
Oh, that'll be nice. I bet you love cigar and bourbon, don't you?
I could give or take either one,
Eh.
but I don't mind cigars, but I don't do it all the time because I don't actually smoke nicotine. But I don't mind a good cigar once in a while. But I used to be a smoker, so
Okay. Yeah, that's a nasty habit.
it is. But
Don't smoke, ladies and gentlemen. It's really bad for you. Let's get started with the cheers, mediocre. And remember, every time Roaring Kitty says cheers tonight, guys, you must have a sip of something. Now, hopefully, you're having a little bit of an adult beverage like we are. Mediocre, cheers.
cheers,
Cheers
my
to
friend.
cheers to learning. Cheers to GameStop having a run up. And if it doesn't, we'll cheers to drown our sorrow in a week or so. So let's cheers to good luck tonight.
Salud.
That is not bad. Double IPA, twin, a dream. Let's get a couple of your basic questions out of the way. I do have a lot of things I want to say about GameStop. Let's just get that out of the way. If you're wondering, why is Tony just putting out comedy videos this week?
Which I have not seen yet, Tony, but I will when we're done.
I have a lot that I want to say about GameStop. You don't even know. You don't even know, guys, because the amount of misinformation, in my opinion, that's being put out on this play, I've had it just about up to here. but I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, and then somebody will blame me. You and your 12 viewers, Tony, you killed this play with your facts and figures and your damn logic. How dare you? How dare you, sir? So I'll probably wait. I'll wait till I can't stand it anymore, till someone insults me that one extra time. Then I will rain down fire from heaven. You will think you're in hell. Keep it up. Keep it up, you dipshits. Because I'm about to rug pull all these boys and girls with their false information on GameStop out there. But I don't want to do that. I want to see people make money. But so I'm keeping my commentary in the Discord so that at least you guys in the Discord know how I really feel, what I'm really looking at, why a lot of the information that is being put out there is just not even close to fact-based and is likely going to lead people to make bad choices. Mediocre. Is that a nice enough way to say it?
It is.
What
I
would
want
you know in general? I talk to you every day. You know in general, I know you have your thoughts about GameStop.
Absolutely.
What anything you want to share before we get started here? Because let's just get this out of the way. I own GameStop right now. I'm long GameStop. I own no AMC right now.
No,
All
now,
my meme money is in GameStop. I was in it last week, cheap. I was in it last week, cheap, and got out. The highest price I got was $60. I wish I would have sold it all at 60. My next bracket was 70, and that one didn't hit. But then that morning, Friday morning, when I woke up and I saw the dilution notice, I immediately sold it all. So I got out at 60 and 43. And that was a hell of a trade. That was a heck of a trade. And then I waited for it to come back down. So I'm back down. I'm bought back in the 23s, and that's how you do it. You buy cheap, you sell high, you buy cheap again. Does that sound familiar, mediocre?
absolutely. That's what I was going to say. So for me, just so everybody knows, I don't own any GameStop, and I haven't. All right. I was trying to get an entry, and I'm very particular on my entry, and so I didn't get an entry. I didn't. I didn't catch the run up like Tony did. Um, however, I was in AMC, and I made some killer trades today on AMC, um, and only because I'm an options trader. Uh, So just to give you a heads up, what I did because I know AMC went down today, so I don't want anybody to think I short. I'm not a shorter.
Neither
I
am
am
I.
very
Neither am I,
I'm
by the
very
way.
bullish on AMC, right? So let's get that out of the way. Like you can say what you want, but I'm bullish on AMC, but it has to be for the right price. And so I'm looking to get back my shares in AMC, and so I sold $5 puts and took advantage of the run up, right? But I knew what was going to happen with AMC, so uh, I bought my position back. You know, my puts. I bought them back because I knew I didn't want to get hold them until Friday because I had a feeling we were going to go under $5. I just tell you to strike. It was over $5, and so I was comfortable. But I knew it was going to pull back and probably close below $5 right this week. That's my thought. I could be wrong. Maybe it doesn't happen. I don't know. But
I see Michael. No, yeah, Michael is talking about Keith did not sell at the end of the day. That was probably the fund who sold him the $20 calls hedging. I don't even know what you're talking about because I've been editing and getting videos out. So if there's anything in particular that I need to know about what's going on with the GameStop June 21st $20 calls, let me know down in the comments so I can be sure and follow up on it. I am still in the green on my GameStop play, but I don't want to. I don't want to write it down in the morning to $18. I don't want to go in the red.
yeah.
I'd prefer, and the reason I'm holding GameStop right now, bought in the low 20s, is I think that it's not a guarantee. First of all, it's not a guarantee that there's going to be a run up, but there's a reasonably high probability that it's good enough for me to speculate on. In my book, it's still overvalued. When you're up there trading at $30, 20 something is not super overvalued for what's going on in the momentum trade, but it could easily get knocked back down to $18. So I have a little bit of risk, but I'm not super worried about it. And I have the ability and the emotional willpower to hit the sell button if I need to, if it starts going against me. Because I'm just
So they're saying in the
momentum
chat.
trading it. What?
So Tony, they're saying in the chat that people are speculating that he sold some of his position.
Were we
They think
seeing
that he
high
sold some.
volume on those $20 calls? Is that what we're seeing?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. I haven't checked it, so I don't know. But
Let me just pull it up on my top screen here.
to
June.
finish up what I was saying real quick, everybody, all I did was buy my $5 calls back, and then
Oh
I
yeah.
sold 450 so I can enter at a lower price. I don't want to be assigned the shares at $5. I'd rather be assigned at 450. So, am I going to get them this week? Probably not, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to be transparent. I don't own any GameStop. I am watching the saga continue though, and I'm very interested in it. So I'm
So
paying attention.
mediocre. What I'm seeing is we had volume today on those $20 puts. Wait, sorry. Fuck. I'm on puts. Hello. Make sure you're on the right one. $20 calls. Open interest is 169. Let's see what the volume was. Volume was 93,000. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the chart. Yeah, that is dwarfing any other volume in those options.
That helps the market maker bring the price down. If he did.
If he was selling those calls or rolling them to a later date, just so you know, whatever he was doing, if it was Keith, if he was selling or rolling,
If we don't have any
then
confirmation.
right, I'm just saying if, then the market makers delta hedging needs change. They don't need to hold as many shares
Right.
as as collateral to keep their own risk flat. And it would be normal to expect the price to go down if that was selling of those calls, and we won't know until the morning when the open interest update. So everybody can speculate whatever you want tonight. Nobody knows. And we won't know till the morning when open interest update. So right now it is what? Remove chart. Open interest 169,000. We'll check in the morning. We'll check and see if the open interest declined in the morning. Sparky, what's up, amigo?
What's up, Sparky?
Glidroy says there's a thread on Twitter explaining it was wash sales. I read a lot of stuff on Twitter and Reddit that is nonsensical, a lot of speculation, if you will, and I just take it as that. How does that person know? None of us can see the open interest. We can speculate all we want. That's fine. I wouldn't take anything as fact until you see the open interest update tomorrow. All right. You ready to see what Keith has to say?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Glenn Roy says he's done a graph. I don't care what he's done. I don't care. Now, there's a couple things that could happen. You could buy, you could sell, or you could roll, or you could exercise. There's four basic things. 5 if you want to wait till next week and let them expire. But something happened to generate 93,000 shares of volume. I'll go look at Twitter just to humor you guys. But again, there's a lot of stuff out on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube about this play right now that is not based in fact, that has me furious inside, and I'm doing my absolute best not to lay the smack down on some of these people for misleading people and telling them not to sell into a run up to $64. And those people are going to have themselves to live with if it doesn't go back up by next week.
All I got to say is hopefully GameStop could get a deal done or something like that, which would help everybody involved. I'll just say that. I'm hoping that happens for you guys.
I did post in my Discord a couple of possible catalysts that I see, and I'm still hopeful that there'll be a positive catalyst. So let's not get it twisted. I want it to go up. I'm long on GameStop, but I am very short on bad information being pushed out there, and there is a lot of it. All right, let's look at what Mr. Keith Gill has to say here in November 2020.
Stock, it's been a lot of action, even though we haven't been
If
having.
y'all can't hear him, let me know.
I mean, this calls for a celebration, huh? What a perfect day, perfect week. I mean, now we're following last week's relatively quiet week on the market, except for GameStop. GameStop was crushing it, so I mean, I can't get this thing lit, my cigar, but close enough, right? Cheers, everybody! What a big day!
Cheers, everybody!
Closing above 16, but we all saw how high it got. Right? What was the high? 1942. I knew it was in the 19s. I didn't see where it got, but I mean, this is a big day.
I gotta support Roaring Kitty
couple
here.
of
I'm
days,
sorry.
right? Obviously, we didn't stream. I hope everyone had a wonderful day.
You got what?
I gotta support Roaring Kitty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's rocking the glasses. So am I. Let's go, baby.
Let me take Carl's question. Carl says useless info, different time, different market. Carl, if you think that value investing, understanding how to properly analyze financials is useless info, then just please leave the channel and don't ever come back, because we're going to share too much valuable information here, helping you pick good plays and making market beating returns on blue chip companies. And I'd hate to waste your time with that valuable information. If apparently you think that is useless info. Remember, this is not just about Roaring Kitty. This is understanding the process of what a smart man went through to analyze this play. I want you to compare what he's talking about with what is being talked about on social media today.
Exactly.
And I want you to ask yourself, if he changed, why did he change? That's part of the question that we're working towards. But even if we get the answer to that question or not, there is nothing wrong with the information he's covering right now. This should be the foundation of all of your investing style, unless you just like going to the casino and putting money on red or black and reading fairy tales on Reddit. If that's your style, this is not the channel for you. And listening to Keith will waste your time because he's going to teach you too much facts and financials that you probably don't want to know, because then you'll understand how everything you're being told today is bullshit.
Because no matter what anybody tells you, Keith Gill is 100% a fundamentalist.
He is a value investor. We have already had 4 episodes, 8 hours of being very impressed with this man, with his intelligence, with his analytical style, with the facts in his analysis. This is absolutely a great use of anyone's time who wants to learn how to invest the right way.
But if you're looking for a short squeeze or any of the other nonsense people are talking about, like, you're probably not going to get the information you're looking for here.
Not tonight.
We don't talk about that stuff too much.
We're letting Keith use his words, but so far we haven't really heard him talk yet about short squeeze, naked shares, synthetics, billions of naked shares, evil hedge funds, DRS. I'm just curious, like, at what point did the narrative change?
Given last week, I hope you had a nice time. Welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed the little bit of a break, but at the same time, it was great because obviously GameStop was running a bit.
You know what else he hasn't talked about?
Crazy.
Mediocre, short exempt volume.
Yep, we haven't said that either.
That. Off exchange trading, hadn't talked about that.
Oh, that's the other thing he hasn't talked about either. He hasn't talked about payment for order flow.
Oh yeah, but he still loves GameStop, and he saw an excellent trade opportunity here.
Yep.
All right, let's keep going.
Volume. I thought though, all right, it picked up a little bit on Friday. You started to get a bit more traction, right? But check out this chart. Check out this chart. How much have we been looking at this? This is the weekly chart, and this was a big breakthrough today. And I know, first of all, the market was selling off today, right? What did it end up? It sold off a bit right at the end, and so that was part of. I mean, Russell 2000 was down almost 2% today. That was a big down day for the Russell 2000. But GameStop held up pretty good, all things considered, right? It was up tremendous, and then it gave some back at the end of the day, right? Not great. All else equal, you wanted to keep going higher, but nevertheless, it was a big day to get above 19. That's a big day. What was the volume too? And then it seemed like there was quite a bit of volume early in the day. Then it kind of quieted down. I see, first of all, 31 million. Now that's some serious volume, right? It's been very, very quiet. And we have been saying, once you get serious volume, people who actually want to buy the stock, watch out. And there you go. You got it. You got 31 million. That's what I'm talking about. That when you see 7, 8, 9 million, that's not even that much volume for a stock like this, as heavily shorted as it is. And as far as some of us are concerned, the upside potential here, that there's just not that much volume. No one was really where there was no huge reason to immediately buy. But now you started to see the sentiment turn, and especially the past week or so. And part of that is just because that price action was rising. The chart was looking incredibly bullish. You saw me tweet that out over the weekend. Like, it's one of the most bullish charts on the market. What can I say? Especially when you zone in on just, especially like the past 18 months and 2 years, it's really bullish. And so combined with the fundamentals, right? I mean, many of us continue to believe it's hugely undervalued, considering how it will perform in Q4 and beyond. Maybe even Q3 could take the market by surprise. Some of us were chatting about that. Cheers, everybody. What an exciting day. Good day to have a stream, right?
Did he say cheers?
But yeah, it kind of seemed like the sentiment was turning. But did y'all see that?
Mediocre.
Kind of like,
cheers.
People were kind of getting on
Cheers.
board with the GameStop story a bit, and I included in that chart too some of the fundamental aspects that some people tend to overlook. But it kind of felt like people were kind of getting real on board with this, even more than they had been in the past. And again, I think part of that is the fundamentals haven't changed at all over the.
Carl says I'd rather listen to him than Morantz. Yeah, the amount of misinformation, Carl, that is going on that other channel is just astounding to me. And I've talked to many professionals in the industry. I've read books. I've got a degree in economics, finance, and banking myself. I just don't know anybody other than that one GameStop channel that starts out their analysis of a stock talking about book value. That is the little tidbit of how we're going to blow up the misinformation being pushed out on that other channel that is maybe lying to people or maybe just inexperience. They're doing it backwards over there is the nicest way that I could say it, because there's nothing else good to talk about yet. 5 billion, 4 billion cash is a great thing to talk about, but you don't start there to get your price analysis. You just don't.
The past week, right? Nothing material except for Black Friday. I mean, you saw people sleeping outside. We're gonna get those two guys sleeping on their mattresses on the street. See if we get them on, right? So that was kind of people. It didn't so much happen console week, but there was definitely some of that last week, I think. But of course, in the back of our minds is always the fact that it's a bit undervalued. Then the chart is looking more and more bullish. Now it looks even more bullish after this breakout today. It's coming back down, and it's definitely that we should be watching this range right now, the $16, $17 range. That's that real important. Like I was saying, like I don't think you break through that without some material news. We came close today, so I can't say I'm too surprised it came back a bit, but at the same time, like I said, if you have tremendous demand, if suddenly people come around to the thesis, and what has changed over the past couple weeks is the Ryan Cohen letter, right, which I have up. This is serious, and like I said, I felt the market was taking its time to digest this letter, and I think, so like last week, like Black Friday type stuff, the holiday type stuff, but I think the market was digesting this letter. Like I said, that type of thing takes time.
Mediocre, this was just after Thanksgiving, this video, by the way.
And I think that's a big part of what you're seeing right now,
when,
combined with just basically the
out.
valuation based on what free cash will be looking over the next 18, 24 months, you know what I mean? And then the charts and everything. I think people are finally coming around to this. And so this is a big move. And I know, I mean, we're at 19, right? All else equal. You like the 19, 20, give it 22, 25, whatever. But it was still a meaningful day. This is a constructive day to break through and to not crash right through. It was still green on the day. Again, the market was down quite a bit today, almost 2% on the Russell. So let's see. It's not no huge victory laps just yet. Let's just see what happens over the coming days. But what big? I mean, it was a gap up today too. If we get down in the daily, I mean, you know what I mean? Like you see the green candle, that means it closed lower than where it opened. But still, that's a big day. And other people
what a
can
beautiful
note that too.
chart.
And then you see the short interest, right? Tremendous short interest. And I keep on. And a reminder for folks, right? I mean, this channel is educational in nature, not providing advice or anything like that. But generally speaking, remove GME, remove the ticker. But just betting on short squeeze, that's dangerous to do, right? For us, it's a bit of a, for many of the people who share my thesis, it's a bit of a sideshow because there's a legitimate thesis.
Mediocre, how do you think people would feel if they knew he's out there saying this on every video? Betting on a short squeeze is a dangerous thing to do. It's a bit of a sideshow. And what the heck is he doing now?
My thought is people never really paid attention to what Keith was actually talking about. Roaring Kitty, whatever you want to call him, deep fucking value. I don't care what you call him, but it just proves that people never actually went and looked to see what the whole thesis behind the play was.
It doesn't mean, hey, I gamble on short squeezes. Mediocre gambles on them. A lot of us do, but none of us, at least responsible people, think that it's a guarantee, which is why, like for myself, I keep the investment very small. And meanwhile, you got other channels saying put all of your money in this one stock for the short squeeze. At least Keith was diligent about reminding people that, you got to be careful. This is speculative, dangerous, and he even called it a sideshow. I think, I don't think that I'd call short squeezes a sideshow, but you should understand that they're speculative and not load the boat, so to speak.
Now, is it less risky today? I think it is. But again, there's no guarantee you'll get your money back, which he even told you in his latest video. But let's continue.
Yeah, I mean,
on.
the fundamentals have vastly improved in
Right.
GameStop now compared to where he was back then.
Exactly.
But the prices exponentially higher too.
Underlying this play. But that said, it needs to be talked about. And a reminder too, when I'm tweeting out like the short squeeze stuff and the graphics, I'm trying to have it's something that I don't think enough people are talking about, right? But that's not something to bet on. If it happens, that's great. All else equal, you like that price to take off. But still, it's very difficult to time that type of stuff, and even to know if it's going to happen. Like I say, I'm not even so sure. I don't really have the expertise to say whether or not something like that is likely to happen. But that's it. I'm aware of that short interest. It's definitely something to pay attention to. And as far as we know, what's surprising to me and many of us, I think, is that the short interest remained elevated at the last we heard. And so that's kind of what's surprising to me, especially if it has remained high. So we'll have to see. When do we get the update? Probably. I guess it's a little while away. But I'm kind of curious about that too, right? Because now this price action is starting to get real. If it breaks through, to this level and we're at 18, 19, 20, low 20 range, remember I talked about getting shaken out, but again, I don't really know about that. But in this particular case, we have an actual thesis. So if you get the longer term time frame, then it's kind of just it's a nice to have if it happens. But I just saw a lot of people talking about that squeeze stuff, so I just wanted to warn on that front, because even I myself don't have high confidence in that stuff. But you got to note it. I felt not even enough people were talking about it. I'm like, you got to talk about this stuff. I've never even seen such high short interest relative to the shares outstanding, but relative to my bull feet, how confident I was in bull. Anyway. So that's so just a big day on a big couple of days, right? This is the daily. So you saw, when was the last time we streamed? This day, right? So it was right in that. It's only up. What's crazy is that it's only up about 20%, right? Is this right? When was the last time we streamed? The 23rd? It's only up about 20% from our last stream on the close. I realized it was higher than that intraday today, but it's only up 20%. But what's happening is, right, it seems like the story's getting out there and the chart's breaking out, blah, blah, blah. So wouldn't you know, as soon as that broke out on that, it's funny how some of these things tend to coincide. It's just kind of a bit curious. So everything's a test and blah, blah, blah. But let's see if the story takes hold. Let's see where it goes the rest of the week. We'll have to keep an eye on this. But it definitely looks good. There's so much stuff that I liked and everything. I can't even bring I didn't have time to get through. There was this stuff, right? Well, I noted that. But I think it was stuff that I liked. Let me just go to what I liked. There's just so much stuff. Thank you. Cheers to welcome everybody.
Cheers.
Everybody.
Cheers. There's two cheers is mediocre.
There's Justin here. I saw Justin tweeted out some fire.
Cheers, Tony.
So now people we got earnings in a week, right? And I keep on saying, if you're going to try to, it's difficult to forecast the quarterly performance. It matters where you are going into it. So that's something I'm watching right now. Let's kind of see where we're at chart-wise, sentiment-wise. Of course, the fundamentals haven't changed too much, except for the fact that in light of the Cohen letter,
have to slow down with the cheers tonight.
To kind of shrink up their performance, inclusive of kind of what Justin's getting at here, which is November performance, right? Because that's part of Q4, but November's in the books as of today. It's done. And that includes Black Friday.
I got
Cyber
two
Monday,
ready here.
And some additional the new consoles, just a ton of stuff. So we shouldn't be surprised. Justin's saying right here how he thinks it's going to be tremendous year-over-year performance. The figure that they toss out there could catch people by surprise. I mean, it's conceivable that it's tremendous. Who knows if that's what the takeaway from the earnings call, right? It's always there's a second level thinking, how the market reacts to some of this news, right? But I thought, people are going to be talking about that as we head into earnings, about how Q3 was. Justin talked about this too. Well, I'll get more into this. I kind of just want to scroll through quick so I get to the chat. I want to see everyone's hot takes. You know what I mean? CVC talking about how what the current enterprise value is versus what net income will be over the
He likes
future.
Domo Capital.
That downside protection.
I don't think
from
I follow them.
How much free cash flows the company's going to generate over the next 4 to 6 quarters. That's my downside protection. And then I think, the market cap, we've cracked $1 billion, right? Cracked $1 billion. That's meaningful. And we talked about how that's meaningful too, because it might get larger institutions. It's only been there a couple of days. I mean, it's only been there a short while. It needs to stick, but it can get an institutional investor interest too, because it's just a larger cap company, believe it or not, that might be more inclined to get involved. But there's many other variables that play into that. But anyway, what the enterprise value, what the market cap is relative to what those free cash flows are like, I mean, it still remains a bit silly for some of us. And that's the downside protection. It's and if they succeed in reinventing and just crushing it with the current path that they're on and or leveraging many of Ryan Cohen's ideas, terrific. That's the huge, tremendous upside where a $1 billion market cap is going to be it could be ridiculous low if they succeed, right? There's still the question of execution. But as far as I saw this, I'm like, that's terrific, because that's how I've been thinking about this thesis for as long as I've been involved with it. What are those free cash flows going to be? Or in this case, net income, right? Which they can be proxies for one another. And Justin was talking too. There was that Seeking Alpha, that Reflex 70 stuff. Then Seeking Alpha's talking about how like so many people visiting the GameStop Wednesday, buying GameStop stuff. The Google searches, you can see it popping up. That's sick. That's sick. You know what I mean? Yeah. How often do you see bankrupt companies that are one of the that people with long ass lines, people bringing mattresses outside? I know we said that a ton, but it's worth repeating after Black Friday. You see all those pictures. Oh, Musical Felony, Cheers. Musical Felony, yeah. Oh,
Cheers. That was a Cheers.
I'll go through the. Oh no, this is just some larger like Russell 2000 type stuff, like energy. Like that's what I mean. Like this stuff is kind of a tailwind. Russell 2000 pulled back a bit today. I'll pull up the chart in a bit. I didn't do that yet, but it was still, that's a bit of a tailwind, right? And I mean, energy stocks, material like hard asset type stocks, value stocks, small cap stocks, they kind of bit correlated in my mind. So I was just taking note of energy and this value versus growth type stuff, where if it were reverting, not confirmed yet, but there could be quite a bit of upside. Just potential tailwinds I was noting. You saw Reggie tweet out too, and I thought, I mean, it's always great to see Reggie talking about, right? Because I mean. It's just great to see that he's getting the message out there. I saw that the latest. Oh, I can just open that up. I don't have it open. The GameStop stuff of they were extending the same day delivery or discounting the same day delivery. That was great. James was tossing out some good shit too. I had opened that up. It was a Bloomberg article that had a GameStop reference. What else? There's so much stuff. Well, I'll get into it with it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was great to see because I'm liking it. I'm trying to go through. I didn't get through everything. That's the thing. I was noticing like sentiment turning, and so many different people were talking about. It was hard to keep up with everything. I'm like, I'm doing my best to as you know me, I'm trying to read through everything. Oh, and Rod, cheers, Rod. Rod's been doing a terrific job tracking his model, huh?
Cheers, mediocre.
Cheers. And Tony, one of his guys got a model.
Yeah, this guy's got a model. What is this? Oh, okay. Bear, base, and bull. He's got a bearish case, a base case, and a bull case. My model is not that sophisticated to be modeling 3 different cases. But I like that. I like that idea.
Yep.
My model looks at historical data, and I try and make some estimates based off of trends and historical data.
Just so everybody knows, in the video we're watching, Roaring Kitty's going over the stuff on Twitter that he liked, and he liked this guy Ron's model he's got going right there, obviously.
One thing I've noticed on what I call the GameStop retail analyst channels is they only share a super bull case. They don't have any reality case. They don't have a bearish case. And they tend to be disappointed a lot or wrong a lot because they're not analyzing the play emotionless, if that's the nicest way I can say it. Now, I just like when I cover AMC's financials and I do my estimates, I got to take all emotion out of that. And I provide very realistic estimates. I'm almost always within a couple pennies of earnings. And I always hope that they do better than I forecast, but I don't want to mislead people with super bullish forecasts that are not grounded in reality.
Rod, I'm sure this isn't up to date, so I probably shouldn't even pull it up, but check out Rod's his model. He's got it all over the place. He's got it on Twitter. He's got it on StockTwits, but he's doing a good job of tracking the order flow for e-commerce and just setting up. In this particular case, this pertains to Q4, but he's also been tracking Q3 a bit. And it seems as though they're already crushing it on this e-commerce front, right? And that's why some of us see this letter, we're like, all right, they're kind of working on some of this stuff already. But as it appears, though, they're already kind of executing on this, and that's big because I saw some people talking about like where's the company trade relative to e-commerce revenues and everything like that. It's like if people re-rate this company and they value it through and they start valuing it through the lens of say like a bit of an e-commerce type company, a tech type company with the data that they have, the e-commerce stuff, if they can crush it on that front, it could be quite a bit higher. So it's good to see that they're already executing on that front. So we'll have to see. So Rod, I always love this stuff, right? Because look, Rod's sticking. He taught. Why this is so great is like, again, Rod, I'm sure this is out of date, so I apologize. But like, he gave you his variables. He gave you his bear base and bull case. You can disagree with it, and I'm certain that Rod would be like, disagree with this, and be like, and then we can talk about it because that pursuit of truth, you get closer to the truth. Let's talk about it. Maybe you view it differently because of X, Y, Z. We can change things. We can update stuff, and then we can arrive at it. And then the question is, how much does that impact your thesis? How much does it impact your own 4Q estimates, et cetera, et cetera? But it's good to have it very detailed like that, and then you can kind of pick through. I think it's just great. So thank you so much to Rod for sharing that model. So many different things. I mean, and talk about margins are going to explode in Q4, right? Like I think all those SG&A cuts are finally going to take hold. They're taking hold right now. I continue to believe the market has not fully priced in that stuff. It's not just about the boom. Or the boon rather, from the revenues from the new consoles and the attachments and blah blah blah, but the cost cutting, all the cost cutting that they've done. And again, same thing with this letter. Like Ryan Cohen touched on some of this stuff, but many of us already know, they've already been doing some of this stuff, and we're going to start seeing and hit that bottom line in Q3, in Q4, and beyond. And I think what you're seeing right now, among many different variables at play here, make no mistake, but part of what you're seeing is the market starting to now factor in these variables that have been pretty apparent for a while now. It's just kind of a question of execution. But as we're getting closer to it and the market actually sees the actual performance, it's like, all right, you know what? They are executing. Time to price it in. And the market's playing a little bit of catch up. That's my opinion, which is but then you still get the short interest. So it's not everyone buys into it just yet. There's no guarantee of complete execution, but at least that downside protection. You know what I mean? Like I'm like eyeing these imminent free cash flows, in particular Q4 and beyond. But I'm even super curious about Q3. That's why I was glad. Some folks have been talking about it because we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Anything else it's just so much. Model tweaks. What was this from Matt? Just tremendous demand for a lot of these gaming type stuff. Oh, cheers, Alligator. I hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving.
Cheers.
Oh, James, this was great. So James I remember James tweeting about this a couple of months ago. Using, like, Amazon was crushing it. Check out this article on Amazon in its ad platform, right? Amazon's ad platform, I think as of early 2019, it was 5% of Amazon's total e-commerce sales. And what he was doing is just making a little bit of a comparison. We're welcome to disagree with it. Just making the point where for some companies out there, it's already hugely, hugely profitable and a huge part of their business. And maybe people are skeptical GameStop can pull it off. That's okay. But what James is kind of getting at, I suspect, because I feel the same way too, is that if they execute, then there's like the market is going to revalue at least that aspect of the business. You know what I mean? The market, it has to, because it's going to tend to be a bit of a higher margin business. It could even grow over time if people prefer shopping in the e-commerce space at a GameStop type website relative to some other firms out there. It's not to say that there isn't still competition or anything like that, but I just mean like there's an opportunity here where, as Ryan Cohen says, if folks are having an excellent experience, if they like shopping at GameStop and they like the deals that they're getting, then that can be a bigger part of the valuation in time. So I thought that was great. This was another small cap type chart. Okay, we'll get into it. So cheers. Look at that. We got a solid turnout today.
Cheers, mediocre.
Welcome, everybody. So much to say, so much to let me pull this back up, huh? Hey, it's still green up. So it was a little bit a smart pullback.
Yeah, so you got to go get another one.
Right, mid-17,
All right.
right after 3. Like, this is, as we all know now, this is noise. Look, actually, let's do this. Let's pull up the intraday. Why don't I do that? Yeah, look at that. So you can see, look at it. It's a smart pullback right at the end of the day, right? But we were roughly, and it was kind of pulling back all day. So it was a lot of giddiness in the early morning. I had pulled back, but part of the market was a tough day in the market or whatever. But importantly, it broke through. It held its gains, right? And we'll see how the market, what the market wants to do leading into earnings, right? That's kind of what I'm eyeing this stuff. But yeah, we'll see what it does tomorrow. I think everything's constructive, right? One day performance. For some people, they're noting like the pullback from the early day highs. And I'm like, yo, for a lot of us who've been in here for the longest time, like we see all the market moves we've seen over the past 18 years, like this ain't shit. All I see is a 2-year high on this stock. You know what I mean? And that's if that alone is a reason for a celebration. You know what I mean? Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Keith.
We got a solid turnout. Let's do this. Let me get this up. Okay. Oh, Cleese, what up, Cleese? Cheers, Cleese. I hope.
Cheers. Oh shit.
EO, what up, EO? Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Oh my gosh. That's 7
David,
drinks.
welcome back. David, cheers.
Oh, come on, man.
Hope everyone had a nice
That's 10
Thanksgiving,
drinks.
A nice weekend.
I can't even keep up here.
Steve Stonk, welcome back, Steve. Yep.
Mediocre. I don't know if you can hear me, but you better bring 2 beers.
Positioning going into earnings, that stuff's difficult analysis. It's very complex.
I gotta crack my second one.
Makes it more complex. But for the longer term, folks, it's like, all right, we just roll with the stock is sold off after every earnings so far. So what
was that? I just grabbed another one. You'd say,
yeah. While you were gone, he said cheers 10 times.
Oh.
I'm gonna, in the interest of humanity and the fact that we need to wake up early, just take one big gulp instead of 10 sips. Well, allow me to pause while I pour.
Oh my God.
Why does he repeat everything 3 times? Cheers, Kevin. Cheers.
Oh, jeez. I gotta be up in the morning, Tony. I got trading to do.
Me too. I'm not having more than 2 beers, you know. If we finish this second one, we're gonna call it wherever we're at. We're 22 minutes into a 3.5 hour live stream. We'll be dead on the floor at this rate, mediocre.
This guy's got the cheers, bro. I'll tell you what.
Hey, Smash. Welcome, Smash. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. All right.
Zazinian, sick. Happy Monday. Chris, welcome, Chris.
Ah.
Oh man.
Okay, people talk about today's action. Yep. Okay, here we go. What do we got? I'm trying to get through. I'm gonna try to stay on top of the chat tonight. Let's see how I can do. Welcome, Uber. Tuber is here. Yeah, cheers, Uber. Huh? Thank you, Ron. Thank you for sharing your model so much. I really appreciate that stuff. Okay, people talking about some of their moves. People talking about the squeeze. So, like I said, just be careful with that squeeze. It is a very highly unusual, very curious setup for sure. And but the timing of this stuff is very difficult. And I'm curious too what the updated short interest was. We had a bit of volume today, but it kind of seemed like it was just like maybe some. I mean, that's speculation on my part. I have no idea. But I was like, it didn't feel as though there was just tremendous. It kind of just felt like some back and forth trading, but I have no insights on that. It's kind of just speculation on my part.
Mediocre. I'm just gonna point out what we've been marveling at over the past 4 parts of this 10-part series that we're doing. How different his talk is back then to his actions right now.
I know, it's strange.
He was all about caution.
now
he's 65 million on call options expiring in 3 weeks.
I know.
Now expiring in 7 trading days. Just crazy.
You know, back then, 50 grand was a lot of money to him. You know what I mean?
I want to crack this nut. I want to figure out where did he shift his thinking. I can't wait till we get to that part.
Yeah.
Closing on this breakout, or you know what I meant to check today was this. Do I get this up? What is this? Oh yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. Like, we're using this as a proxy. See that rate is still 7.2%. 550. Okay.
What is he looking at?
Okay, what we got?
Oh, the borrow fee.
James,
okay.
What up, James? Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, Justin. Welcome, Justin. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. That's 2.
Oh, the Ryan Cohen stuff. Yep.
God.
I agree, Justin. I agree. Very bullish day. It's been a very bullish couple of days. Again, I think some people, like there's many different types of market participants. They have different types of plays on all types of stocks. If for the very short term, like intraday plays, all the stuff, you look at the intraday chart, it's going, right? But for the longer term folks, like, this is bullish. I mean, the stock's at a 52-week high. It was at a 3-year intraday high. Like, that's bullish. And in light of you got the fundamentals fueling.
Tony, I got a question for you.
Blowing it up, and Ryan Cohen talking up this stuff, sentiment changing.
You got any shot for after we're done with these videos?
I have an open bottle of tequila.
No, I'm talking about shot. The drink that's supposed to make us not drunk.
Yeah. I do have that 4-pack of shot. Maybe this weekend, mediocre. We need to do the shot part 2 video.
Maybe, Tony. Maybe we can intertwine it with this Roaring Kitty cheer shit.
That is a good idea, but I want to do the shot people justice and just make a shot dedicated video. And we need to go through the shot financials too. I don't think they're too hot.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that. We're going to get drunk and go through shots financials. Guys, this is literally the best channel where you can get good financial analysis from somebody who is drinking, other than Roaring Kitty. I mean, the guy does a bang up job here. And I'm not trying to put myself on his level, but from what I've seen out there, not too many people doing inebriated financial analysis and still doing it well like we do here.
Like, it's got so many things supporting this case, and I think I'm with you, Justin.
We'll do that with shot soon.
I feel. Let's see how where it goes from here. And it would be great if it sticks it going in. I mean, there's still earnings next week, but what's been interesting to me, a lot of people have kind of been betting on. Like betting on what the stock's going to do at earnings, it can be difficult to try to forecast that type of stuff because what if the upside isn't fully priced in yet? You know what I mean? That said, you keep an eye on the chart going into it and sentiment and stuff, and it's difficult analysis, but we'll see. I mean, we'll have to see in the coming days how it ends the week and so forth.
I hate it when my cigar goes out.
Daily, welcome Daily. Happy Monday, Daily. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mediocre.
I agree. What a week it's been since we've last convened. Well said, well said. But even still, like I said, it's only up 20%. It's only up. And I think people, I mean, everyone's eyeing that 19, right? I mean, it's still at 19. That's big. Even I'm quoting the intraday price, right? But it's still like, am I calculating that right? Well, I feel like, am I doing it wrong? Yeah, no, that's right, I think. But, yeah, it was like sentiment kind of felt. Did y'all think that too? Like, I'm very curious to see people's take. It kind of felt like more people were talking about the GameStop thesis, which is always just even chatter about.
Mediocre. Do you remember how crazy we used to get, like in 2021, with the drinking? Oh, he's not even here, is he?
Right. If they're picking up the right aspects of the story, that's always good to see.
Lightweight.
Oh, Justin went by some GameStops today. Yeah, thank you to the folks who have been stopping by some of the GameStop and sharing what they've been seeing. That's been great. Some Bopis, okay. Okay, sick. Cheyenne, welcome Cheyenne and Hugo. Cheers, mates. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hope y'all had a good week.
Cheers.
Oh, Justin helping out on that front. Yeah, Justin. It's a good deal, huh, right, Justin? Oh, shit. Yeah, what up, Chris? What up? Yeah. What up? What a day. What a day. Let's do it. Jorge, cheers. What's up? What's up, Jorge? David,
Jorge, cheers.
Okay, people talking about some of their moves. People talk about some of their moves, yeah. Like talking about this.
I sure wish I would have
GME,
found him
right?
back
Just when
then.
you get this a bit of a trading range, right? Depends on all of your different time horizons and stuff. But when you're at the top of what appears to be a little bit of a range, you can potentially trim or sell at the higher end. When you're at the lower end, it can be times to add or buy. Just general educational type stuff. In the case of GameStop, you had a bit of a breakthrough.
Kevin says, I bought a lot of my stocks while drinking and woke up thinking, what did I do?
It was a gap up. I guess not quite.
What are you doing, Kevin? Buying an overnight Robinhood trading?
It's notable. And so then it's like, well, what do you? Then for some folks, they buy on the breakout, right? And then you buy on a retest, or you wait a little bit, see if it's confirmed the next day. Everyone has their own little nuances as to how they might approach this type of a thing.
I've been having way too many sleepless nights, Kevin, dreaming about GameStop parts.
And it got overbought.
How many cheers do I owe, Tony?
It would be nice for it to be even more. It's more bullish. This, obviously, if it gets even more overbought, I guess, obvious. But it was still just to tick up in that range after this downtrend. It kind of broke through. And wouldn't you know, as soon as it broke through, wasn't that last
Linroy, I will do that after we're done here. Yes, sir.
And I think maybe people were kind of viewing it similar to how some of us are viewing it. Johan, what up, Johan? Cheers, mate. Welcome back, Johan. Nice to see you. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
Johan, cheers.
Cheers, Johan.
Oh, we got 100 viewers. Cheers, everybody. We got 100 viewers. Let's go. Oh, 99. I scared
just
so much.
Blows me away. He only had 100 viewers, mediocre. How many did he have last Friday?
Oh, I can't remember.
He's up to over 2.4 million views now.
Oh, yeah.
100 viewers.
I thought you meant on the live stream we were watching.
Crazy.
Cheers, Tony.
They saw the
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Okay, so Justin, look at Justin saying, Justin thinks November same-store sales can be 100% plus. Do I still got that shit up?
Saheb, what's up, amigo? Saheb says, what is your sentiment on June 21st options? Saheb, I'm just going to generalize it like this. I don't worry too much about the June 21st options. I do every morning wake up and check the open interest. Obviously, I watch his Reddit page for the daily updates to see if he's updating us on his position. But my general, why am I in this play right now? I own GameStop. I owned it last week. I sold it on Thursday night into the run up and at $60. What I didn't sell Thursday night, I sold Friday morning when they announced the dilution at 43. And I made a fantastic return. When it dropped into the low 20s earlier this week, I bought back in. I'm green right now. I thought about selling today, but I think that as long as Roaring Kitty is involved in this play, there's a decent probability, not a guarantee, that it could stage another run. There's also some outside potential catalysts that I've talked about in the Discord. And I'm not going to talk about here because it's complete speculation. But I think there's a decent probability, as long as he's still involved in the play and people are excited, that just based on FOMO and momentum, that it could run up. I'm not playing this as a short squeeze play this week. Last week I was. This week I'm not. So I'm going to stay long. I'm going to stay long for right now. I don't know that that's the right choice. I obviously am concerned about some downside based on fundamental analysis, but I think that right now momentum could outweigh the fundamentals. And if you're wondering why I'm saying that, it's because everybody that's talking to you about fundamentals on other channels is not doing it correctly, to be blunt. How do I know that? Well, I will do a video in the next couple days. I might just wait till the weekend, just not to piss everybody off while we're trying to trade and make money. But the fundamental analysis, the financial analysis of this company that's going on in social media and on YouTube right now on the GameStop channels is absolute trash, absolute horseshit.
Talking about, you know what I mean? Where Justin was saying this. Where was Justin talking about this?
That doesn't mean we can't have fun momentum trading it.
Yeah, there you go. I believe November same-store sales are strong. Now we talk about 100%. You know what I mean? Like, that's attention-grabbing stuff. And you might say, well, it could be priced in, and that's fair. You can't be 100% sure whether or not something's priced in. But it's 100%. If you start reporting in your earnings release at 100% year-over-year, like, that's an attention-grabbing figure. But I'm not. That's that type of thing. Maybe it would surprise the market. I guess we'll have to see. But can you imagine 100% year-over-year? Like, you never sees that. We all know why, because the console's a big part of it. But it's also because they're executing on some of their e-commerce fronts and. I mean, especially on the e-commerce front, but some other areas as well. Just, I don't know. And then just high attachment rate for some of these new consoles, right? That's where GameStop tends to crush it in those early weeks, months, quarters, years. And so can you imagine? I mean, if they could report that. Remember, November is going to be in the books come the Q3 readout. They might talk this stuff up. And why might they talk this stuff up? In light of the Cohen letter. They talked up May. They talked up May performance in Q2. If you remember, when they reported in June, they were like, hey, I forget was it up 4% or so? I think it was up 4%. I should have checked. Yeah, I think it was up 4%. And because it was in the books. And so they maybe a higher chance that
600,000 were live, Treetop says.
Whether or not that's
Did you change your name?
Like, that's
Treetop is that brewery, right?
About what are the three
no, it's Tree House.
Top the earnings release, right?
Yeah,
I would have to say 100% same-store sales. If they trigger that, would be something. Wow. Eduardo, welcome back, Eduardo. Hope you had a nice week.
I thought
Jordan,
he was going to say Eduardo cheers, but we got a Jordan cheers mediocre. Yeah. Two of them.
Talk about short squeeze potential. Yeah, I agree. Definitely the potential remain until the shorts close.
I need another beer,
Tony.
Tony.
Assign a non-zero probability to it, right?
Even if it's base case, one right now.
I'm serious. It's empty.
You just finished your second one?
Yes.
Damn, you're taking bigger sips than me. I'm halfway through my second one.
This is only 11.2 fluid ounces. It's not even a full 12-ounce can now.
Fucking baloney. Fucking Italians ripping you off, mediocre.
I know it.
Tech We Love says, I was sleep deprived last week and foolishly got in GameStop when it was halting. Had a cost basis of $47.50. Ouch. Average down this week to $35.98. Broke all my rules. Yeah, don't be sleep deprived. My buy-in this week was around $23.90, just so you know.
And tremendous downsides. I've entertained zeros for GameStop in the past. You've heard me talk about that on past streams. Like I try to develop a very broad.
And I do not want to go red on this play.
Distribution for GameStop outcomes. And when I see
I'm worried about it.
Like I was talking about a couple weeks ago, the setup was one of the most bullish setups I've seen. I
could have bought a little lower.
And with all those variables, until the shorts close, I have to.
But I did not. I don't know
about this, but I think that shit can still happen. And then what does that look like? I don't know. But as a bull, it's like one of those. It's like Tinder, right? I don't know. It can accelerate things, right? But then other people see the short interest too, so that reflexivity type stuff that plays a role. That reflexivity is all over the place.
Cheers, Carl.
I kept on thinking that if you get that breakthrough to like the next level, like a firm breakthrough, that the price action can just shake. Right now, it came back down right at that interesting level. Some of us been eyeing that 17, 18, 16, 17 days. It got to 19 today, but it didn't hold it. Like you might, like I was saying, I thought to really break through that you need some serious news, and so maybe it happens tomorrow, or I don't know. Maybe it happens in the absence of it. We'll see. But then if you're like 22, 23, I would just feel like it might be expensive or very risky place.
You're good.
As heavy, but even when then maybe they can close some, but not all. I don't know about. I'm always curious to see people's takes. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Hugo. Hugo. You never listen to Hugo.
I thought he was
Hugo, ain't that the truth?
I thought he was gonna say it.
Okay. I'll pull it up over there, Hugo. Oh, jeez. I can't even look, Hugo. Jen, welcome back, Jen. Cheers, cruise control.
2 of them mediocre.
Oh, Jorge's got another one. Oh, Jorge's got another chart. I swear, Jorge looks around the whole market. He browses like all these tickers, and Jorge himself is looking for the worst chart. Jorge, I'm kidding, right? But every time I'm like, what the? Jorge, I can't wait to pull this one up.
Kevin says y'all should put a mini fridge under the desk.
Oh my god!
I do have a mini fridge just for our drinks, Kevin. We've got the big fridge, and I've got a mini fridge where we just keep the drinks. It's just a few steps away. Under the desk would be dangerous, honestly.
Oh, it's a different looking chart. My apologies, Jorge. I just popped it up real quick. I'll pull it up later.
I don't want to drink that much. I want to be up around 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning.
Kazuya, welcome back, Kazuya. Got a good crew tonight. Rolling deep.
Do you ever worry, mediocre, when he's greeting new people that he's going to say cheers?
Yeah.
Hey,
Kazuya, welcome. Cheers.
Welcome to the stream.
Matt P, welcome.
First stock. Oh yeah, good first stock. especially if you bought at the lows. It's been a hell of a unique play, Matt. So welcome to the markets. Hey Polygon, welcome back, Polygon. I hope you had a nice week.
He picks up that beer like he's about to say the word.
Oh, Polygon. So Polygon saying, right. But there's a lot of people saying GME has already 3x, so it's not worth investing. What's the best one-line response to that? Ooh, I like the challenge, right?
Nice,
as you know,
nice
Polygon,
question.
I'll talk 3 hours for a response. I'll talk 3 hours for a response, but what's the quickest way? Is that you want it to be like you could argue that's not a good one because it's not a fair at some point pick any large cap company, right? At some point they were all three baggers, right? And they went up 100 like it ended up being whatever huge plays. But as far as what matters, what my actual response would be at Polygon, I don't know if this would be adequate, but it really comes down to what the discount is to fair value, right? And it doesn't matter if it's up 2x, 5x, or 10x. It doesn't matter if it's a GameStop or an Amazon. If the stock continues to trade at a material discount to what a fair value is of the operational business, then that's all that matters. It doesn't matter.
This is a key point right here, mediocre. He's talking about a discount to fair value. The big disconnect, guys, just to be honest, that I'm seeing not only in GameStop, but in AMC and a lot of meme stock plays is people don't know how to calculate a real fair value. Do you have any comments on that, mediocre?
I mean, we do a lot of
it. I'm talking about everywhere else on social media.
I can't speak for them. I try not to pay too many of them too much attention, to be honest, because
I do pay attention because I want to see where people are being misled. And
I agree.
Look, I'm going to be honest. I pushed back a lot on the fair value analysis of AMC back in 2021 because I was wrapped around the axle on the squeeze aspect of it. But the fair value analysis that I have for AMC, eventually, once we got out of 2021 and we started really having to pay attention to the financials, I was like, well, fuck. These, as much as I hate, these numbers that these analysts are pointing or putting out for AMC, they're not incorrect for their fair value analysis. And the same thing with GameStop. Like, I don't even need to look at what the analysts are putting out. I can go through the financials. I can go through a dozen different ways to analyze GameStop. Return on equity, return on assets, return on invested capital, price to earnings, price to sales, price to book. I can go through a dozen different ways, discounted future cash flows. I can go through a dozen different ways, and I come up with the same fair value that the professional analysts come up with. Why? Why is that mediocre?
Because you're doing the proper calculation.
Right, because math and finance is immutable. It's black and white. There's no variance. If you know how to do finance, if you studied a book on accounting or finance, if you have a degree in it, if you're a certified professional, I'm not a certified professional, but I took all the damn classes, and I can run the calculations. These analysts are not incorrect.
But Tony, these analysts are working for the hedge funds.
I know. This is what's irritating when I hear people say that. You think that because they're not telling you what you want to hear, but they're not incorrect. What we need to assess is, are they being overly bearish? Are they missing something? That's a fair discussion. That's a fair discussion. But we should always start the conversation with, is the fair value analysis correct or not? And it is. The fair value analysis for AMC is correct. The fair value analysis for GameStop is correct, what the professionals are putting out. We can have a different viewpoint on the future after that, but Wall Street is going to always push the price down to the textbook fair value. And they have way more money than we do. That's the problem, right? Mediocre. What's your favorite phrase about fighting Wall Street?
Oh, my favorite phase is my favorite phase.
First day with the new lips.
Be a barnacle on the whale. That's what Tony wants me to tell you guys.
Be a barnacle on the whale, and explain that to the folks who haven't heard that before.
Go with the big money.
And why is that?
They're going to do.
Why is that? Because you love hedge funds?
No, because I don't want to give them my freaking money. That's why.
Because they have the monetary power to overwhelm us in many cases. Not in every case. Not last week. They couldn't. But you need to be smart about it. You need to at least understand and admit to yourself, or be able to calculate for yourself, what is the fair value. Then the value in that is knowing when it gets above fair value, because then you can kind of gauge your exit point or your brackets, if you will. Like, I knew GameStop, when it started trading 40, 50, 60, 65, that was 5-6x fair value. I had brackets higher than that. I didn't sell everything at $60 on Thursday night, because I can recognize there's a potential in a FOMO run up or a short squeeze for the price to go way higher. But I knew that the more farther it got away from fair value, the more likely it was to correct, or the more likely that management would be. Management knows what the fair value is too, guys. The higher it gets away from fair value, the more likely they are to what? To raise capital. Because that's the smart thing to do. That's why I mentioned that to you guys on my Thursday night video.
All right, Frankie. I don't mean to. I'm drinking a Peroni, and it's only 5% alcohol by volume. So I just want to tell you. All right.
What a fucking pussy. 5%.
That's all it is. But Frankie's being a smart ass because I was stuttering my words a couple times. You know what I mean?
Tech We Love says a video analyzing quite a few analysts' fair value would be interesting. The problem with GameStop, Tech We Love, is there's only one analyst, Michael Pachter. There's 2 or 3 for AMC. And I will do a video running through the fair value calculations. Here's the problem. People hear me talking about fair value and they think that they hear me talk about fair value. They think that I'm saying that's my price target. It's not my price target. It is me understanding what Wall Street is looking at as fair value, which is where I think they want to drive the price down to. When you have a overwhelming retail support behind a meme stock, you're probably not going to get, or it's going to be very tough to get the price down to fair value, especially in a case like GameStop where they have no debt and they're not needing to dilute just to make up for losses like AMC is. But I could run half a dozen different, completely different formulas and analysis and come to the same fair value price as Michael Pachter. If you want me to run through those, I mean, I've been spending every day this week getting that video ready. And but I don't know that people are ready for this information. I don't know if people want to know how to calculate return on equity, return on assets, return on invested capital. What is a reasonable PE ratio? Why using book value is stupid. If there's someone out there talking GameStop should be trading at 5x book value, they are doing the Kansas City shuffle on you. They want you to look over here while they shoot you in the head over there, because they don't want to talk about the things that really matter, or they're just so uneducated on finance that they don't know how to talk to you about the right things. I kind of drew up a Venn diagram. If you guys know what that is, the two circles that intersect. And I'm in both circles, sometimes on the same play at different times. And the circles are speculator and value investor. It's okay. It's okay to be both, but you got to know which circle you're in. If you're over here saying this thing's going to the moon and it's worth $70, you're speculating, you're gambling. There's no financial, there is zero DD you can do to back that up. If you're a value investor or a real financial analyst, you're over here in this other circle. The people that try and say they're both are the biggest fuck ups. GameStop's going to the moon, and here's my financial analysis that says why. No, you're bleeding your circles together too much. You're letting your emotions and your lack of education in finance lead you to the wrong conclusion. It's just important to know where each is. I'm okay with both. Like I said, I participate in both at different times, even in the same play. But you got to know both points. Go ahead, Mediocre.
I just wanted to say to Kevin, that's a top secret information nobody's got there, buddy.
Yeah, what is Cohen's secret plan? That is the biggest reason why this is a stupid short. What is Ryan Cohen's secret plan? I want to be as bullish as I can for just a second. Let me step in the speculation circle, because I know what the fair value analysis of GameStop is. I don't think it's going down to that price. It's not going down to that price. Why? Because even if the fair value price of GameStop is 11 based on book value and no operational income, negative operational income, negative cash flow, negative operational cash flow, embarrassing return on equity, embarrassing ROA, negative return on invested capital, all the things people don't tell you about on the GameStop channels, all this, the embarrassing financials and the ratios that they don't want you to know about. If we just look at book value, $11, it's not going down to that price. It's not. I think this is a stupid short below $18.
Yep.
Because why? Because you don't know what Ryan Cohen has planned next. And he could blow you out of the water with a bullish announcement, an acquisition, an investment. GameStop needs earnings. Every ratio that I just talked about, PE, ROE, ROA, ROIC, they're all dependent on earnings. And that's where GameStop's failing. But if they make an investment that Wall Street says, oh shit, man, they're going to have earnings next quarter or 2 quarters from now, then the shorts will get blown out. So there's a point where it is stupid to short GameStop. I've kind of like dotted line that right now, early analysis, $18. I'd feel pretty comfortable. I can't guarantee you it won't go below 18, but I'd feel pretty comfortable adding a pretty heavy position at 18, $19.
Yep. That's where we keep trying to sell puts around.
So let's make no mistake about it. I'm not negative GameStop. I'm just realistic about what Wall Street is thinking about it, because that's how I want to think about it for my margin of safety.
When you hear Roaring Kitty talk about downside risk, right? That's what he's talking about.
But people saying, at $30, the upside is infinite. That's just stupid talk. There is no earnings to justify an infinite upside price. There's speculation, there's hope, there's wishing, there's dreaming. There's nothing for management yet. There's no communication. There's no earnings calls. There's no plan. It's okay to speculate, but now you're over in this circle. You're in the speculating circle. Just tell people I'm speculating. Don't talk to them about book value, because those two circles do not intersect.
They got to make this funny, Tony. Carl J is pretty funny.
What'd he say?
maybe GameStop should buy a gold mine. Oh God, I love it.
You guys, if you don't know, I know a lot of people.
Cheers.
I know a lot of people lie about me and say that I pump Highcroft. The people that say that bullshit, how do I know they're lying? Because I've not made one video yet bullish on Highcroft. People just want to lie to you about me because they don't want you to watch my channel. I don't own any Highcroft. I've been negative on Highcroft from day one. I cover Highcroft to provide realistic information from someone who hopes one day is successful, but it's super speculative.
I only owned Highcroft one time, Tony.
I've traded it mediocre. I've momentum traded it. I don't own any now, and I think it's a very dangerous speculative play, and there's going to be more dilution in Highcroft.
Was bought for me from a friend, a follower of mine. He wanted me to have some Highcroft, and I ended up getting rid of it. I was profitable on it, but I had to tell him, like, you got to give him the news, right?
Yep. I might do a Highcroft update this week, because Ms. Garrett just did a fireside chat, even though I saw no fire, and it is 100 degrees here in Texas, and she's just right up the road from me. That weren't no fireside chat, y'all. Just telling you, ain't nobody in Texas burning a fire in June.
Yeah, I'm not
she updated us. I'll just tell you the early DD. She said that the pre-feasibility study now for Highcroft is pushed to 2025, and that they're looking at doing some acquisitions, which that blew my mind. I'm not necessarily bullish on it. I'm thinking to myself, where is the money going to come from for an acquisition?
And then you asked me a question, Tony.
What was that question that I asked you? Where's the
You
money
asked
going to
me-
come from?
Exactly.
Where do y'all
What
think
did
the money's going to come from for an
What did I?
acquisition?
Yeah, chat. Let's ask the chat. Let them answer the question.
The chat. Where is Highcroft going to get money for an acquisition?
That's a good question. I laughed when you asked me that. They're going to get the money, just so you guys know.
If they identify an acquisition, they will get the money. But I want to hear from y'all. Where do you think they're going to get it from? Michael says, "What is my GME exit?" Michael, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I was thinking about exiting today as it pushed up on the high of 32.33.
Oh man, we got some people in the chat who are pretty smart.
Michael, I was up $9.50 a share this morning in the early hours, and I was definitely thinking about pushing the exit button. But I made so much money on Thursday night. I'm so far ahead on this play, and I've made so much money momentum trading GameStop in general over the last 2 years. I'm not like in a risky spot. I'm so far in the green that if it goes down to 22 or 21, I'm okay with that. I would exit if it starts dropping below that and try and buy back in wherever it bottoms out. But I think there's a decent probability, not a guarantee, that we get some upward momentum. I can't guarantee that, but I'm willing to gamble right along with you guys because I do like me some speculative plays. I'm a value investor, but I'm also a speculative short squeeze momentum trader when the setup is right. And I think the setup is decent enough to gamble, a small percentage of my portfolio. All my meme stock money is in GameStop or cash. I have nothing in AMC right now other than a few long call options. So all of my money is ready to be deployed. It's either in GameStop or ready to be deployed in GameStop if the price drops, or we get a exponential run up that I see on the chart. I'll pile in. And where do I exit? I exit when I see the chart topping out. We're getting to a point where I have a sick gain. And that was like Thursday night. I mean, $60 was a sick gain. And I had brackets above that, and I would have liked to sell more of it higher, but it didn't get to my next bracket. So just, if you want to know my style, it's buy low, sell into run-ups, keep a little bit of brackets aside for the price that you really, really, really hope for, but don't miss the opportunity to sell into run-ups and book some profits because you're going to regret it when the price comes back down. I bought cheap, sold into Thursday night, sold the rest Friday morning early when they announced the dilution, bought back in this week in the 23s. And I have even more cash just sitting, waiting to deploy for the right setup. I'm very patient. I do not trade this stock emotionally, and I certainly don't listen to the bullshit out on social media. I do my own DD.
Yep. Actually, we kind of laugh at the stuff out there, to be honest. I can't help
How
it.
much it's,
Some of the
it
stuff is
doesn't matter.
so,
Oh, you'll know the rock.
No.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's super. That's your one-line response, Polygon. If they say, yeah, well, GameStop is already
I
up.
want to be clear. I have a long position in GameStop. I have a lot of cash sitting, waiting to deploy into GameStop when the setup is right. Today is not the right setup. And I need to see very, very strong upward momentum, or I need to see the price collapse to a point where I think the momentum rebuilds.
3x, so I don't really know if it's a good play, Polygon.
Have in it is good enough for now.
That's it. And then you just stop it right there. You drop the mic like this, and then you just leave the room, Polygon. That's what I would do. Yeah, welcome to the team, yo. Yeah, so that, and I think a lot, and some folks in the stream have shared this. They talked to some folks, and I talked to my family and some friends, and talking about the GameStop play, and many people are kind of just right off the bat, like a priori, like, nah, that company's done for. I don't shop there anymore, and so forth.
Oh
And I just
God.
think, but there's more to the thesis. In that was curiously, that was intriguing to me. Like I was more motivated by that, because then I started thinking, whoa, it could be that the masses are subscribing to a vastly incorrect story. Like it could be a little bit of a mass delusion, right? You don't see that much where everyone is certain
God bless you.
of a certain outcome.
Cigar
right?
smoke
For
right up the
particular
nose,
outcome, right?
mediocre.
Everyone is certain of a particular outcome. And I think, whoa, wait a second. Maybe they don't go some crazy major transformation. Fine. But to think that it's a bad play yet.
You know, one thing I don't do, mediocre, is talk up stocks around the family dinner table.
Nah. It depends who I'm talking to.
I'll talk to my wife about it, at the end of the day. But if I were to be at a Thanksgiving dinner, stocks would not be on the list of conversation topics.
Yeah, I don't either, because most people, Tony, don't have the insight that you and I have. Or
They don't know how to buy, and they certainly don't know how to sell if they're not following it closely enough.
some of them don't even know the stock market, to be totally honest. Most people aren't even involved.
Now, I did call my son on Thursday, and I said, hey, there could be a run-up into Thursday evening, Friday on GameStop. And he's like, he knows the financials. He's like, I don't know, Dad. That's really not the type of play I invest in. He's wise beyond his years, mediocre.
That's good to hear.
By the way, just in case anybody wants to keep track of him, since all of you guys think he works for a hedge fund, he is a senior in college working on what is it? I think a bachelor's in accounting and a master's in finance, or the other way around. So he's got 2 years left, and he is in California doing an internship that he arranged. I had nothing to do with it. So he's in California for the summer.
Nice.
And I think he is working for a hedge fund this summer, mediocre. I'll try and get an update.
Nice.
But I thought it might be fun for him to come on and do the analysis of GameStop's fair value.
Well, you know the private information I shared about my daughter too, so that's kind of funny.
But this is just a summer job for him, guys. It's to get experience in the industry. He's got 2 years of college left, and he's not getting paid by anybody. He certainly doesn't give me any info. But you know what I told him on Thursday as I was throwing questions at him? Like, if you were looking at a financial statement that had, $4 billion of cash on the balance sheet, but negative operational earnings and negative operational income and negative free cash flow, negative operational cash flow, and I threw a couple other things. I said, how would you analyze that play? He's like, well, Dad, I would start by looking at, EBITDA to enterprise value. I was like, well, what if there's no EBITDA because they have no positive earnings? Oh, well, that's not good. And we went through a series of steps. And at the end of that, I was like, you know what? You're really good at this stuff. Because he answered every question correctly. He had the very Tony Denaro type response. He's like, well, Dad, it is my major and it is going to be my job. I'm going to be an investment banker. I said, hat tip to you, sir. Smart
That's right.
kiddo. Smart kiddo.
That's what you want, Tony.
I just, the reason I was asking him all that is I don't know in college, like, are they teaching them how to properly evaluate companies? And I'm just going to tell you, he knew every answer better than any GameStop YouTuber. And the same answers that any professional in the industry that I've talked to also gave me as the answer, and the same answers I came up with too. So I would put him up. I'd put my 21-year-old son up against any GameStop YouTuber who thinks they know what they're talking about. He would mop the floor with them. Let's just put it that way.
$3-4 a share because you don't shop there anymore. That's incomplete analysis, or you know what I mean? Like that caught my attention. I'm like, whoa! It seems like a lot of people are just boom, bad play because of X, Y, Z. And I think, whoa, there's way more letters than X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z is just a couple of them. There's 26 letters, and so that is kind of it's something I've been keeping tabs on over the past year or so, and so I'm not surprised by
his
that.
second answer,
Chris,
mediocre,
like
was discounted cash flows. I say you can't do that because they have negative cash flow.
Hell no, that thing's going bankrupt, isn't it? Even recently, you know what I mean? It's not. It's good to see that sentiment has been in the works changing over the past couple of months, but as discounted it's been, I mean, it's for my thesis, it's only at $1 billion market cap, and I just think it's and you see the short interest. I think market hasn't really fully bought into this, and then what happened too is some people might incorrectly subscribe to
Oscar says, what is my prediction for the rest of this week? All I can say, Oscar, is I am hopeful. I'm hopeful that between now and next Friday that we get some news from GameStop or Roaring Kitty that reignites the passion of people to pile money into this play. And I think at this point, it is very low probability that GameStop will do another dilution. So if we can reignite the buying pressure, I think there's a decent probability of another run up, but I can't guarantee that because I also know Wall Street is willing to bring a lot of money to bear to drive the price down. And at $25, the stock is fundamentally overvalued. So who is going to win? I can't tell you that. I'm betting on us. I'm betting on us right now, but I have an exit plan if I'm wrong.
Short squeeze thesis, in which case that's not the thesis. That's just something that could happen. And then if the short squeeze doesn't happen or doesn't come to fruition, they may, there's nothing happening. And I'm just thinking, well, for once, you have an actual serious thesis grounded in fundamentals, and you have the short interest. And I just think, something, let me keep going. It's the same stuff. You hear me say the same stuff. I'm a broken record, but let me keep going.
Oh, man.
Okay, here we go. Jordan. Okay, Alex, welcome back, Alex. Oh, thank you, Alex. Alex says short interest update the day after earnings. The day after earnings, that's right. So the 8th is when they'll report, and then the 9th is when we'll get the updated short interest, which would be as of today.
NASCAR says, mediocre, I'm going to let you hit this one first. Do you think there can be a winning strategy where you go for 100-to-1 risk to reward? How does that hit you when you read that?
I mean, I do pretty good. I mean, I like my strategy, Tony. I don't know.
I think what he's saying is there a potential in a play where you could 100x your reward to your investment?
Okay. The question, the problem I have with the question is do I think if I bought a stock, are we talking about buying a share of a stock and you know, doing
and seeing it 100x?
No.
Expand, please.
I mean, you're talking, you know, if you're lucky to get a 20% gain in a stock. The reason why is because you're talking about overvaluing a stock. Now, if you're talking about a short squeeze play, that's something totally different, right? And like GameStop was a phenomenon because it had 140% short interest. That's what people aren't understanding, right? It had 140% short interest on top of the fact that it had so much money saturated in retail's hands because of all the free money the government was giving away. Okay.
Stimmy checks.
Yeah. We had so many stimmy checks. Everybody was buying in, and
we had a lower float.
Everybody was home and buying in at the same time. It's just to do that again is, in my eyes, I don't think it's really possible. Okay.
And here's the cope that people do, Mediocre, right now. When we talk about 25% short interest, people reject that number because if they accept it, it means they're not going to get 100x play.
Exactly.
I accept the numbers, guys. I accept the data. And I think it's very dangerous to reject it and fall in this trap of thinking of billions of synthetic shares, because you're going to miss out on a very healthy, reasonable run up because you fell into the trap of thinking about stuff which is unsubstantiated. We've been, we're on our 5th series now of listening to Keith. He hasn't talked about synthetic shares or fake data yet. And I try not to also.
So I'll expand on that a little bit. Tony and I talk every day. Obviously, you guys know that, right? So I'm just going to tell you. I tell people every day, do I not, Tony? I don't give a shit what the stock price is. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to make my money. I'm going to create my own MOAS. Is that a common thing that's said?
Yeah.
And I'm doing it by trading. It doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about 25% short interest.
And I don't hear you ever talking about short interest, short exempt volume, off exchange trading, billions of synthetics. And I see you making thousands of dollars a week trading, normal trading based on data that we know about and charts that we can see.
And momentum of the stock and the way the stock is moving, right? Like it's a lot of, we pay attention. I just don't stick a lot of money into a play if I don't have an idea where the play is going to go.
You don't need 100x play to make a lot of money. You just need reasonable expectations and a good trading strategy.
Exactly.
That's basically what we're trying to say. Where people are losing their money is listening to these losers telling you not to sell into run-ups, telling you to buy into run-ups.
Now, you guys should hate me for telling you that.
That is going to kill you over the long term, unless that 1 out of 100 chance happens that you get the 100% run up, the 1,000% run up in your case that you're looking for. Could it happen? Anything could happen.
For the same reason, I'm going to say this too, Tony. For the same reason that your broker won't allow you margin on GameStop or AMC is the exact reason why I love GameStop and AMC. The volatility. Without volatility, I can't make any money. That's just the truth.
I tried the buy and hold thing with AMC from 2021 to late 2023. It did not work out so well. I've been momentum trading GameStop for 2 years, and I would wager that I've made more than anybody holding it, because 7 or 80% of the trades, 90% of the trades have all been winning trades. Buy on the dip, sell on the run up. You don't even have to get the absolute bottom or the absolute top. You just need to be willing to trade it. Wait for it to come back down, rinse and repeat.
I got a question for you, Tony, since we're on the topic of that. Where do you think Roaring Kitty got all that money, that extra money?
Most likely from trading it or smart options plays.
When, Tony, in the past 3 years?
Yes.
So you're telling me he wasn't buying and holding?
I don't know for sure that he was trading GameStop, but he was trading something. He had to have cash from, and maybe he had GameStop and he put it all on margin and traded NVIDIA. I don't fucking know. I don't even care. It really is. It's immaterial to me, Mediocre.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, right? But the amount of money that he has in his account,
he got it from trading something.
That's my only point that I was trying to make.
He didn't get it from buying hold. He did not get that much money from buying and holding GameStop because it's only gone down. Is that a fair statement?
That's what I was getting at.
If his only strategy was buy and hold, he'd be wiped out 80%. He was trading something. I don't know. Same thing we do, Mediocre. I think he would fit in smashingly well in our group.
I agree with you. And
It'll be
I'd love to have him if he's ever interested in coming.
Keith, if you're watching, reach out, buddy. We love you.
as of today. Oh, that'll be good.
Although you're being a
Right?
little.
Am I thinking about that right? Yeah. Yeah. It'll be today. Sick. Okay. What's that monthly looking like? Oh, we got a monthly chart today. Sick. I mean, that weekly's looking good. I mean, there's always a little bit of wiggle room here. Don't pay too much attention to the fine line. Even I'm adjusting it based on recent action.
I can't wait to see how this all
there's a couple of
plays out for him,
candlesticks that are a little bit
mediocre.
higher. Don't overthink this stuff. Just draw the
I
damn
really
line,
don't
move
want to see him
on,
lose any
and
money.
then
That's
just watch
what's
I
the
don't
line.
want to
Alright,
see
this
him
is an
lose money
interesting level. I don't
either.
care if it's 15, 16, 17.
I'm
just that
rooting
area.
for him.
You know what I mean? It's a couple above it, but
I
feel like
think
it's a little
everybody's
underneath.
rooting for him,
But the monthly.
which is why I'm still bullish on this play.
Okay, so the monthly, you know what I mean? So right now, this on the if you're using the wicks, I plotted it. But if you move down to like this range right here to the actual candlesticks themselves, we're above it. Pick your poison. I don't care. Pick your poison. If you go to the candle, we're through it. If you use the wicks, we're not through it. Although the wick went through it today. Don't overthink it. Just be all right. Hey, Steve Stunk, check out this chart. Steve Stunk, check out this shit. Boom, boom, boom. Getting close, Steve Stunk. Getting close. Steve Stunk had a. I think it's still intact, Steve. I think it's still intact. There you go, Uber.
Party
Uber.
foul.
Yeah,
You took a drink, Keith, and you didn't
Uber
say
lost all his friends when
cheers.
He was bullish on GameStop. Yeah. That's funny.
We get a pass on that one, Tony?
Yeah, we
Matt,
get a
welcome back,
pass.
Matt, welcome back.
I'm about ready to have another drink, though.
I mean, I agree. Of course. I mean, if you do get some crazy, if you do, but that's the thing, Matt, is that if you do get a crazy short squeeze, right? It goes parabolic. Of course, these little moves aren't that meaningful. But even short squeeze aside, if you get the tremendous turnaround that management is currently actively working on, that Ryan Cohen's trying to trumpet here, these moves are still going to look silly. It could just be that it's what's really in question for Mike is the time scale. It's like the win, a major turnaround for the tremendous upside. That type of stuff takes time to execute for the masses, for the market.
We're going to go to the top of the hour, mediocre. So like
if they succeed, man, I think even in that case,
23
these
minutes.
little moves.
You got it.
Like, well, just to be clear, we've been for those folks who have been involved with GameStop this whole time, we've seen moves. We've seen tremendous volatility. This whole look at this move. Look at this gap down. When was that? January. They changed their guidance, and then the up. What was this? And then all the way down in April, and but it's all. You look back on these moves, and then you see these moves were all between like 4 and 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 3, 6, 9. All right, but then now it's at 15, 16, 17. It's ridiculous. Who cares? 4, 6. What does it matter? And now you're in you know what I mean? Like this is an edge that value investors have, right? Is that I don't have to deal with that. Now, and you might have your own style. That's okay. I'm just saying for my style and for many folks on the stream, those moves, as I agree with Matt, it's like these moves ain't shit. Okay, what do we got? Here we go. Oh, Kaizuya. Was it 24 pre-market? No, it wasn't. Was it? No, it wasn't. 24? I thought I saw 20. But pre-market, y'all know, you got to discount. You got to discount that pre-market. It's got to be.
Anya, what's up,
That's what I
Anya?
got to discount. It don't count for me. The Roaring Kitty model. Let me just see what I do. I got after hours. Oh, maybe I'll be able to get it.
You're
I
just
see a high of
in time
2011.
here
I
for
see
the
a high of
last 20
21.
minutes,
Okay,
Anya.
right here. Let me pull it over. Is this today? Oh, that's the WAP high. Oh, that's the WAP high. Oh, what was the high? Does it say? Was it? Oh, what was it? I'll take. Damn. That'd be something over 24. You know what? Just for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Oh, can I go all the way down? Oh, sick. Nah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. If it was 24, thanks for the heads up, because I didn't see 24.
That's funny that he would look
that
at a
pre-market stuff, right?
table
It's all based on
mediocre to
volume,
see the
actual daily
pre-market
action.
high
Something
instead of
that's
just
reportable,
looking
right?
at
Of
the
course,
chart.
Kazuya, right? You see me looking after
Yeah.
hours. Shits and giggles. Take a peek at it, right? And certainly that big of a jump, that's indicative of maybe some people really getting on board with this stuff, right? Okay. Oh, Justin's going to write an article. Sick. What do you got? Oh, before earnings. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so you're debating on whether before or after. Ooh. Well, Justin, with your how much you can write, you might be able to do both. Well, I mean, this is Justin, you know what I mean? But I suspect, Justin probably has tons to say about it. You know what I mean? He's as well read in the company as many folks, and that's all I'm saying is you probably got enough material, Justin. You got so much to say, like myself, that you could probably do both. But I'm also concerned having one most of your. That's tough. Maybe for your time, Justin. Maybe you just wait for earnings. But that's the thing, Justin. Who knows? What if it's a crazy earnings report and you might have so much to say on it? That's the thing. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
It's killing me to.
Selfishly, just.
I don't remember what the earnings came out with after
taking
this
the time to write.
that he's talking about.
You've written so much, man. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, Eduardo. Searing. Let's go, Searing. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm seeing. Yep,
I'm
a
gonna
lot of
try and
bullishness
pull
out
it
there.
up.
TM, welcome, TM. Yeah, welcome everybody to the stream. We got a good turnout here. Welcome everybody, huh? I mean, if we're gonna get a good turnout, right? Weeks like this, let's do it. Let's do it. To those new to the stream, believe it or not, we talk other stocks, but GameStop is as it's turned out, we said it was the stock of the week or the month, but it's the stock of the quarter now. And then the story just keeps unfolding. We're like, we got more shit to talk about. There's so much to talk about. It's okay, so David says after. Well, that's the thing. If I have to choose, I want after earnings too because I want to see Justin's take after. That's a good point, David. You know what I mean? If we got to choose one, I'm gonna choose after. I want to see all Justin's thoughts.
This was 2020.
Thank God he ain't said
Okay.
cheers in a while. Jesus.
I know, I'm thirsty.
What happens if they? Yeah, what happens? Well, I don't know. That's the thing. So Matt says, what
So,
happens if they don't have a blowout
The
quarter?
net income was 80 million positive.
Is it priced in?
for
Is
the
a blowout,
quarter
are you
that
suggesting
he's
that this is a rhetorical
in right
question,
now.
Matt, but is a blowout quarter priced in, or is it not priced in? You know what I mean? That's what gets
Free
that's
cash
tough
flow
analysis.
was
And,
137
that's
million.
why
So
you
this
see
was
lot
a
of volatility
banger of a
heading into earnings.
quarter.
It's very reasonable volatility because the market's like jumping all over the place because they're trying to do their best to try to price in, figure out what's priced in, what's not. What I don't know. We'll have to see. But indeed, I mean, if it were a bad quarter, then you might expect a pullback, right? That's kind of natural, especially for a stock like GameStop where it has. But wouldn't it be something if this were the first quarter where it popped on earnings, right? Because for the first, what I would say is going into this quarterly earnings, right? Not even forget the
15 more minutes, babe.
just for a moment. Just talking sheer sentiment and setup wise going into it. Going into this earnings release, this is the first earnings release you're going into where you have like a tremendously bullish setup on first of all, let me just start with this. For those who remember, going into Q2 earnings, so far, we're kind of the current setup, well, we need to give it a couple more days. It echoes the run up into Q2. What do I mean by that? Was here was the run up into
Release,
Q2.
what's up,
If
amigo?
we zoom in.
Cheers.
For what this is marginal analysis. It's just something I was noting. You had a big breakthrough in this spot. You had a big I just do the weekly. That's easier.
I'm actually really paying attention to what he's saying.
Daily's
Right now.
better. You had a big breakthrough from a form of resistance, that $6-7 range. Ryan Cohen filed his letter about 2 weeks before. It broke out that level, and then it kind of settled down. Then they reported earnings, crashed back down into former resistance, which is now support. And then
Cash
popped
flow
off the
from
week after, right?
operations in
Now,
this
here you go. You had
quarter
another-
that
the
he's
resistance
talking about
isn't
ended
as
up
big.
being
Broke through
164 million.
resistance level, and that
And
it hasn't. Let's see where it gives it the next couple of days, but if it holds this week and it keeps on going, it looks a little bit like
They
Q2.
did reach
And
that
in theory,
again
this
in
isn't a prediction. You could
late
retest,
2022,
remove GME,
early
but then you can retest and
2023,
then
but
bounce
it's
off that.
mostly been
But this time,
negative
besides just the chart
operational
itself, you have a lot
cash
of other
flow.
factors here, right? You're going to have
Except for
a
two
quarter
quarters.
that is going to have tremendous year-over-year performance. You didn't have that in Q2. You haven't had that. You've had tremendously shitty year-over-year performance for as long as I can remember in GameStop. It's been shitty. Now, for the first time, you're going to have possibly like terrific performance, right? But it could be even very eye-catching if they start talking about Q4 a little bit, right? And then you have the Ryan Cohen letter too, where Ryan Cohen's going to be, maybe they even respond to Ryan Cohen, who has really talked up the fair value of GameStop. Like I said, back in going into Q2, no one really took this tremendous upside seriously. This is why this letter was important. You give a face, you give a face to this upside. It's not just us folks on the Roaring Kitty stream here. It's not just us. We're not just some crazy folks talking about. Here's Ryan Cohen actually believes in it.
Mediocre. I'm gonna call an audible. Cheers.
People are thinking about that now. And that's what I mean. The market is digesting some of this stuff and going into it. Where sometimes if the market's wearing those rose-colored glasses, you just give them a reason and look no further than to Q2, where yes, their initial reaction was a pullback, but so the F what? We're twice as high as that now. You know what I mean? Like, and there's been no quarterly performance that's been reported. So knee-jerk reaction, I'm less like, I don't know. Yeah, could do this, could do that. And I'll take a guess. I'll tilt one way or the other. But then I'm like, what really matters are where is it heading? Where is it heading in Q4? What are they going to, even if they don't provide specific guidance, is the tone bullish? Hey, we've really turned stuff around. Look at the impact that our SG&A cuts had on Q3. Imagine what they're going to have on Q4. This Ryan Cohen guy doesn't understand. We're executing on all these fronts. Look at here. Look at there. Q4 is going to be blowout. We told you we weren't going to report guidance.
Look at this. Look at that. Look at this.
They announced buybacks too. Like all these different potential variables where they're like, F it, let's do this shit. Whereas before, they were kind of just trying to get to the console. So there's other different ways you can play. It's really difficult analysis that I don't really have high conviction in. But I think about all these different things. That's all you do too. So many different, you know what I mean? Like it's real difficult stuff. But in the back of my mind, this is the cheat code. This is the cheat code for value investors, because I think about all these things, assign probabilities here and there, as many of us do, and then I think, yeah, but it's still undervalued. So I'll pull up these charts and I'll do all this thing. I do it. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I do it. But I'm like, yeah, but it's still undervalued. In the end, value wins out. Value wins out. If you have calculated a fair value, and it is very reasonable in the ballpark of reality, the market will
Do
eventually.
you hear that, mediocre?
There's always a question of whether
Absolutely.
your value is truly.
If you
reflecting
have
value, that's fair,
calculated a
but if
fair
it
value that is in the
market will reflect it.
ballpark
It's often just a question
of
time.
reality.
Sometimes it doesn't take all too long, and I think in the case of GameStop, it may
Those
feel
are
like
his
it's rising very
words,
quickly,
Tony.
but that's because it ain't
I
done
know.
shit for such a
I
long
just
period of
happen
time.
to
Now the
agree
market's
with
trying
him.
to catch up to the story that's been
I
being
love it.
told and being executed on for the past 12.
Not a lot of
16
that
months or
going
so,
on
something like
right
that.
now.
And but so that's what I mean. Like I think about other stuff. I'm like, yeah, but it's only $1 billion market cap. It's only $1 billion market cap, and then you know what I mean. And then with the cash that they had on the book, we'll get an update. And then
I think
they
it's
paid
'cause
off
we
some of
don't
their debt.
understand
Maybe
the
we'll
play,
get an update
Tony.
on that stuff too.
It's not because
When
we
is
don't
it? It's
understand
gonna
the
be,
play.
it's going to be filled.
Well, that's what I hear on the internet.
And that tender offer is going to be completed in the near future. God, so many different things. So many
Finance
different
and
things.
financial
This is why
statements are not that calculated,
this
not
play
that
going
difficult.
into earnings is much more than a 1 quarter earnings play. For me, some people make a living out of trying to play earnings, right? That's not my style. But I'm like, there's
Calculate
so much
your
more
fair
to this
value,
thesis.
then
It's
you
always
can
just a question of what
speculate
is the market willing to price in at
based
that
on
time?
that. But
Is it
what
gonna
you
be
really
enough
need to
information change your
speculate
thinking on some of the
is
stuff?
management
But
guidance. And what are we not
looking out
getting,
3 months, 6
mediocre?
months, I just think, get out of the way.
Guidance?
Those free cash flows
Right.
are coming.
So
And
everybody's
we
just
can
guessing.
disagree
Just say
on
you're
the,
guessing.
on the
That's all.
degree of
I'll
upside.
be
We
good with
disagree on
that.
all day long. We're gonna have a hard time disagreeing with the downside when you start.
When was
seeing
the
free
last
cash
time we
flows in
got
Q4,
some
Q1,
guidance,
Q2.
Tony?
Good luck trying to
It's
disagree.
been
with
a
that. Those
year.
are real. And many of us
Well,
think that they're imminent. I mean,
yeah.
as far as
I'm
concerned,
bullish
but
on
sometimes the
guessing. I
market really
mean,
needs to see it.
I'm okay
before
with
it's willing
that.
to
I
act
think
on it.
they
So,
have
I
a
don't
great
know.
opportunity,
Really
but
get caught up.
let's not act like we know for sure. For sure.
Yep, management.
Or
Does seem as though
shall.
management might be a bit pressed by Cohen here. BCG, welcome back, BCG.
You fucking cheater. You didn't even say cheers. I'm going to drink, mediocre.
Okay,
I
Justin.
killed it.
I
I'm
appreciate
done.
sharing
I
50-50.
put down 3. I'm good.
Good surprise. It could be bad. No idea. Yeah, so I kind of agree with Justin. You know what I mean? Like Justin's like, yeah, could be bad, could be good. I'm kind of like Justin's kind of like where I tend to.
Anya
I'm like
says if they
50-50.
don't speak, no one can hate
More
him.
so on the market
Anya, they
reaction
also
to
say
this.
he's laying a trap. This
But
is
Q4,
all
I
a
kind of, Q4 is going to crush it, and I find it hard to believe they don't provide
a
lot
secret
of,
plan.
that's
But
the
you know,
thing.
Wall Street
They
doesn't
specifically
give
said
you
they weren't
credit
providing-
for
I don't think they
secret
changed their mind
plans.
on
Only
stuff. That'd
retail
be something if
traders
they
do.
did. Imagine if they report. Imagine if they provide guidance.
Which
on
is
what
fine,
people are
depending on
doing.
how
That's
it
gonna be
turns
big deal, a
out.
surprise, I think, if they did
If
that.
he has a secret plan, shorts are fucked. If he doesn't have a secret plan, retail's fucked. So we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, your first tweet. Okay, I missed that.
I don't care either way.
Oh, he's gonna write it. Sick. Cheers, Dustin. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, mediocre.
I'm empty, bro.
I'm going to be
The
empty
only reason
on that one.
I'm not thinking guidance is because they said that, Jordan, on the last conference call, that they weren't providing
Ah.
guidance for the rest of the year. Maybe at the time they weren't expecting to receive a letter like this, but it's what they said. It's hard for me to assign a high probability to the opposite side.
Anya is asking, am I talking about RK or RC with the secret plan? People say
Yeah,
that
Chris said
both
that. Cheers,
have a
Chris.
secret
Beat me to
plan.
it. As
I
many
think
people
for
might have. Thank
sure Roaring Kitty does not have a secret
you. Okay,
plan.
Alex, cheers. Thank you, everybody. Yo,
He's trying to
no,
figure out
I
how
just
not
keep
to
on
lose
scrolling.
his
Thank you,
options
everybody.
money. He's planning that, but there was no secret plan going into this,
Shit,
in
jump.
my
Uh-oh.
opinion.
Oh no. Oh,
Ryan
no.
Cohen probably has
Yep.
a
All
secret
right. It
plan.
jumped on
I
me.
hope
The chat was too long. I'm at Michael Peterson. Welcome
of
to
what
the
he
stream.
wants to do with that money.
I don't know.
Anya.
So if I
I
missed
sure
your,
hope he
if
does.
I missed your line, I apologize. I'll keep going. Man, that sucks. Oh, but you know
It's
what? I can- I
reasonable
always
to
come back. I can
assume
always come back
that they
and
have
check
some
it
plans.
out. But I can't respond to it. You know what I mean? I like to read all the comments. Okay, George. Welcome, George. Happy Monday. Gats. Welcome, Gats. Gats in the house. Geet Langford, welcome, mate.
That doesn't change our fair value analysis until we know the
How
plan,
is it not expensive?
until we can
it comes
assign
down
numbers to
valuation,
it.
right? It comes down to free cash flows. That's
We
what
could
it
have our
comes down to.
speculative analysis. Words matter.
Oh, Snow Carver. Sick. Cheers. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, see the Owl Crew here. Welcome, everybody. Snow Carver. You and Steve Stonk's GIFs are terrific. I absolutely love them. Well done. Welcome to the stream. I mean, and you just be posting sick shit on Stock Twits too. I mean, I'm liking yourself. Welcome, though. Huh? Great to have you. All right. 6. Okay. Dope.
Mediocre, do you spend any time on stock twits?
Short float is way too. We're looking at
I haven't in a long
extended
time,
short
but
float.
I can't say that I have
Or
it in the
shorts
past.
outstanding. Yep.
I can't keep up with it. It's just like this
Okay, comparing it to
avalanche
EW,
of
right? Well, no, we'll
nonstop
certainly know in
information.
hindsight. We'll certainly know in hindsight, right? Oh yeah, Jen likes them too. Sick. Yeah, they're dope.
I don't do much social media anymore. You know that. It's just, I don't know.
How about few
I'm
parts?
just
Yeah,
on
the
social
ownership
media to
structure
block
might be a little
people.
bit different.
Mediocre.
Super Saucy, welcome Super Saucy. Welcome back. Eric,
Super
cheers. We gotta give
saucy
truth,
or
rolling
super
deep, rolling deep. Like I
sassy?
said, who cares? I mean, that's not who cares rolling deep. That's who cares to the who cares person. Welcome. Brahma Bull. Cleese, Brahma Bull bullish on GME confirmed. Oh, shoot, that's what they should do. They'd be like, excuse me, GameStop Bears, how do you feel about GameStop news? It doesn't matter. Zane, what up, Zane? Welcome.
Was that Teddy
Right, that's the
Zane
question. Yeah, some of
mediocre?
the
You think
future
that was
value
Teddy
has
Zane?
been factored in and priced in.
That's funny.
I still wonder too how if
I'm waiting to hear
quickly
one
those-
name that we know mediocre.
That's the thing. So right now, I mean, you're getting some like a technical breakout. There hasn't been much material news on this front, right? But the Ryan Cohen, I think like part of this is due to the Ryan Cohen letter, as usual, right? I mean, some of that contributes to this move up, and the market is taking time to digest stuff. It's not that one day thing.
Haven't seen one yet.
But
I haven't
what's
either.
going with that? I don't even know where I was going with that. But the market is kind of pricing. But it's those big like. It could be like it is definitely deserving to be bid up based on the Ryan Cohen letter, but for a true oh shit I need to close my short position or oh shit I need to buy GameStop ASAP, you need a bit more than that, something on the fundamentals front. So Q3 could be a tee up for that, getting things rolling where people be like, wow, look how they did in Q3. That's actually way better than I was expecting. And they gave November guidance. That's actually way better than I was expecting. You know what? Maybe Q4, Q1 they actually are going to execute, and that's a reason to be like But then, you know what I mean? Like that gets people kind of re-rating the stock a bit, but. And then a legitimate, full, complete response. Although I don't know how much they can respond to this Cohen letter, but you know what I mean? Like for the market to really be like, oh, I gotta close. They need a reason, a strong reason to want to do that. And I still think like price action itself. That's the thing. That's why it didn't hold today. But it's a step in the right direction to like break in 20 and hold in 20. And then I think, ooh, that's getting expensive to hold, even in the absence of news. But if you're in that range and then you get news and then it pops at 24, 25, you know what I mean? Then I'm like, oh no, that's real. Oh, it gets tough.
Say it. Shorts are fucked when that happens.
I think of the inverse. If you're holding a stock and you're down like 50, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know if folks are down. If GameStop has been a successful short for 5 years, and this is what I think people have just assumed that they were ripe and that they weren't going to turn around. But I mean, situations change, and let me keep going.
Tony,
Yeah.
Welcome.
are
Dan.
you
Welcome,
doing
Dan.
this for
I keep trying to go so we can get
history's sake?
Oh, there you go. Look at Michael.
No,
Michael
I'm doing
says,
it
Ryan
for
Cohen letter,
education of
boy
myself and
converted as a bull.
others.
There you go. So,
No, so you're not
I think
documenting
if we were to
history.
make an inference here that I
No.
think that some other folks might be converted as well.
Just checking.
A bit more time,
Roaring
but
Kitty documented history.
it
We're just
seriously gets the
rewatching
conversation
it.
going for the first time.
Gotcha.
Based on the rising short interest and the price action still hadn't gone all that crazy. We were in that $10
There's,
range. Yes, Ryan Cohen got involved.
you know,
People were really buying into it. So I think you might infer that.
I'm waiting for him to talk about
Just a bit
synthetic
more
price failures.
in time.
Mediocre. So far, nothing. Nada. Zilch.
I love it. That was perfect, Tony.
Okay. Ooh, some of the. Oh, I keep on saying Porsche.
It's on Reddit somewhere.
Porsche. I know. Porsche.
I
I
know.
would do that automatically. But interesting to see the comparisons there, right? We certainly haven't seen it on the price action. We certainly haven't seen anywhere close to that. You know what I mean? Some people might think that, oh, it's already up 4x, 5x, like Polygon was talking about. I mean, that's nothing. With the shorts, I still don't understand. Is the definition of short squeeze subjective? How do people say a short squeeze has happened? Because while I concede that visibility into the level,
You know how short squeezes happen, mediocre?
on that, right? The reflexivity, right?
I want to see what he
Short interest
says about
could-
it.
It's a short squeeze, so I'll get ahead of it. I get that part, but I always thought short squeeze itself, by definition, involves shorts closing. Is there another definition out there? Because I see it so much.
Yes,
I
it's
think.
called the
Are
needle
people
of
just not looking at
death.
the Data point, or do they define it differently? I'm kind of confused about that. But anyway, as long as the short, that's why we'll see. We'll get to see what it is.
I thought they
November
couldn't
30th.
close,
That's kinda
Tony.
Cool, because you're gonna see the breakout as part of that, right? That's gonna be good.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't.
It's not as of today.
When you see the needle of death, shorts
Oh,
are
it's not-
closing.
Oh, thanks, Justin. Damn. Justin says that the short interest won't be as of today. It will be as of the 26th or 27th settlement day. Damn. Thanks for the heads up. That would have been dope. I mean, 26th or 27th. is
For
still
those
good,
of
right?
you that don't know what the needle of death is, just find a chart where it goes parabolic and then you have a wick that goes
I'll take that. That's still
way
good.
up.
I mean, this is just one.
That's your
additional day.
needle
I'll
of
take the
death.
27th, though.
That was some
Here we go.
short
Steve Tops. Steve Tops.
getting wrecked.
December candle coming for you. December. Oh yeah, that's how I felt. I felt like this, Steve. Did I still
Once
get
you
that
see
up?
that, you need to be thinking about
Y'all see this
exit
one?
strategy.
Anyone see this movie? Y'all see Snatch? Yo, Snatch is sick. That's how I was feeling, Steve. Right? Kind of like your like the candles, right?
Man, he must have been a
Yeah.
boxer.
Who cares? Says yeah. TA is an art, not a science. Kind of like a lot of even like a lot of investing approaches tend to be more. Sometimes it's hard to boil it down, even on the value front. Hey, Jonathan. What up, Jonathan? Welcome. Cheers, Jonathan.
Jeez, I'm glad my beer's gone.
We got
Phase Hong,
4 minutes
welcome.
left, guys. 4 minutes
get
left.
through,
If you
huh?
got any final questions, drop them in the chat.
Oh, it just jumped. Steve, oh, I just jumped. Great use of that. Cheers. I'm glad. I'm happy Steve approves. Sick. I know. I was. I just thought this might be easier just to put into like calendar form, Steve. All right, let me hop back up. Oh damn! I fell behind. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I jumped again. All right. Okay. I can't be that far behind. Right? Okay. Because Ryan Cohen's waiting in the wings. Sure. Okay, the fair value stuff. Yep. Debt payoff. Yep. Sounds like, yeah, I know. As Cleese is saying, hey, yeah, they paid off their debt. Must be really bad Q3 numbers, right? Sarcastically, as many folks were saying, like that could be an indication that was a decent quarter, right? Of course, I think they were probably going to do it anyway, but even still, I think it's a good sign. I agree. Harold, what's up, Harold? It's still early on that breakout. I like to see some follow through. I like to see it hold and everything. We'll see, but a good step. Good step. I mean, look at these three.
He can talk a long time about GameStop. If you notice that, mediocre.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
almost a
I'm looking at
4-hour
people
live
give
stream. We're
guidance
only
right
1
now.
hour in it.
He knew it inside out, Tony. That's the thing.
In the next part 6, we're going to skip ahead
And to
to
be clear,
December,
the
and the
incentive
price
to give
action
guidance
gets
is to
really
kind
interesting
of
then.
quell some investor concerns in light of this letter, right?
And then
This
part
management team
7, we're
without
going to
this
talk
letter would
about
almost certainly
January.
not give guidance. They are not. They don't care. They are taking their time. Of course, Ryan Cohen critiques them as not
I don't have the
urgency, but
days
they're kind of the type
scheduled
that goes,
yet. We'll do it
I don't care how you react
when
to
I
early
have free
performance. That's
time.
what I'm saying. For better or worse, that has been
Yeah,
their
no
reaction,
worries.
and that's a big part of the reason the stock continues to sell off after every quarter. But now that could be it's going to be a response to Cohen. Okay. Steven. Welcome, Steven. Cheers, Steven.
Is that Steven a bad ape?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh, yeah, 30 would be nice, please. Ben. Welcome, Ben. Happy Monday.
Raphael
Steve's
says,
thinking Cohen makes a move beforehand.
all right,
huh?
mediocre. Let's take a pause
Regardless
on
of how
Kitty
earnings
here
are.
for a
Ooh,
second.
James bad, yes.
You got it.
I'm interested.
Raphael says, I own AMC at 177 after the reverse split. What are my options? I'm just going to say we have people in our discords that have had very upside down positions. And the only way to fix it is either to pray or to take active charge of your trading.
Absolutely.
And that active charge of your trading could be, active charge of trading AMC, or it could be active charge of trading other stocks. I can't tell you what is the best for you. Obviously, AMC, if you decide, okay, I know AMC really well, I want to trade it, you're still dealing with a company that is not operationally profitable and has high potential for dilution. So there's a lot of risk with that, but there's also a lot of volatility and at times some decent options prices. So in general, I'm just going to give you a general framework for what people have done that we've worked with over the last 6 months. Actively trade your stock, sell into run-ups, keep the cash on the sideline till it dips. If things are still bullish, buy on the dips. As long as you're holding shares, sell covered calls. If you're not holding shares and you have cash because you sold into a run up, then sell cash secured puts, which again gets you income and enables you to buy the stock if it falls to the price. Or if I said if AMC falls to 350, I'd buy it no matter what. Then I would sell a cash secured put at 350, generate immediate income. And if it falls to 350, I buy it. And if it doesn't, I just keep the money. Do that over and over. And it doesn't have to be AMC. You could do it with any stock. That is how you fix a position. But the chance of a run up to 177, mediocre. I mean, for me, almost impossible. Almost impossible at this point.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. But I will
So-
say this. So, if you don't mind me asking, how many shares do you have?
Do you have over 100? Do you have enough to trade options with?
The reason I asked Tony is let's say he has 500, right? If he has 500 at 177, what would 500 cost him today? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that
it
would
costs
cut his
him
position in half.
$2,500.
Yeah, so he's got 1,000 shares. So figure he needs $5,000 to cut his position in half, one time. That's the first thing that comes to my mind, and then work it from there.
Most people that we talk to, that we work with, that are in our Discord, are selling into run-ups, even though they're taking a loss, knowing that the price is going to come back down because it's overvalued, waiting for that appropriate time, selling cash secured puts while they're waiting, getting back in on a dip, and then immediately starting to sell covered calls. And it could take a year of doing that.
Yep.
Could take a year, but you can fix it. The worst thing you can do is nothing. The
Absolutely.
do nothing plan is praying.
And we're not giving you financial advice. We're just telling you trading strategies that would help you, right?
Yeah. And don't trade options if you don't know what you're doing. Like, hook up with somebody who does it weekly, who can help you explain how it works. And, every weekend we're strategizing out, what is our options plan for this week? What's our strike prices? Are we selling covered calls? Are we selling cash secured puts? What strikes do we like? What's the premiums look like? Is it smart to do it on Monday when the market opens, or wait a couple days? There's a lot that goes into it to extract the most value out of it. But taking active charge is, in my opinion, better than just sitting back doing nothing and hoping.
Right. And I want you to understand that, you're not going to win every single trade. You're going to get shares when you sell cash secured puts. Sometimes you're going to end up with the shares. Sometimes you're not. And when you sell covered calls, sometimes you could lose them. Sometimes you won't. Right. But don't be emotionally attached to your position. Understand that you just got to play the game. Right?
One thing that we all had to collectively do is let go of all of the shit you hear on social media and just focus on basic trading strategies, tried and true, that work in every play. If you're worried about the MOAS, you're never going to make the right decisions. And if you want to pick that way to do it, that's fine. I have people on my Discord that have picked that way. I don't try and convince anybody how to trade. I talk about different things to consider, and everybody makes up their own mind.
Yep. You gotta put forward your own risk tolerance and understand what you're willing to lose. See, for me, if I was in your situation, I would automatically write that money off, because the chance of it ever getting back there is slim to none.
And why is that? Because if it runs up, what's the AMC going to do? The same thing GameStop just did: dilute. In any run up, they're going to dilute. They've told you their strategic objective is to pay off the debt. The only way they can do that is to raise money. So in any run up, you're going to get rug pulled by the company. They need the money. It's the right thing for them to do. It's not that they hate you. It's not that they're working for the hedge funds. They're trying to not go bankrupt. So expect more dilution into run ups.
But I'm going to tell you something that I would do, not financial advice. The very first thing that I would do is the next time the stock moved up, even if it was only 10 cents and started to roll over, I'd immediately sell all my position, all of it. Just what I would do. Personally, if it was me, not financial advice. I'd wait 30 days. Why would I wait 30 days, Tony?
To avoid wash sale.
And why do I want to avoid wash sale?
Because you can, if you wait 30 days before you rebuy in on options or stock, then you have the ability to write off your loss on your taxes for however many years you can write it off, $3,000 a year.
Exactly. So then after that, I would start working the position. But if you don't care about writing it off, you don't have to wait for the wash sale, because all a wash sale does, for sake of argument, is for tax purposes. So that's the first hurdle I would get over. I would understand what a wash sale is. From there, I would make my determination if I cared about a wash sale or not. And then I would start doing the covered call strategy. Just that's how I would handle a situation. Whether what you do is your stuff, just I don't know.
Lorenzo says, is selling cash secured puts. I'm assuming that's what it's selling. I don't know if I understand your question, Lorenzo. Is he asking about selling calls, or is it equal to buying puts? Selling covered calls, generally what we're doing is, like if AMC is trading at 5 and we don't think it's going to go over 6, we would sell a covered call at 6, collect the premium, and as long as it finishes the week under 6, we keep that extra money. And on a spreadsheet, we just, okay, I made 20 cents, I made 6 cents, I made 50 cents, whatever.
So
You can subtract that from your cost basis.
Right.
Per
But
share.
just so everybody knows, like that 20 cents or that 10 cents or whatever it is for that week is off of every share.
Times 100.
Right.
Times the number of contracts.
Exactly.
So 20 cents, if you had 500 shares, that would be $100.
So
that's selling covered calls.
I just want you to understand that, because people say I only make pennies, and that's fine. You could believe what you want to believe, but pennies make dollars.
Penny up when you have thousands of shares. Sufyan, what's up? He says, Tony, there are YouTubers that get mad when you don't buy and hold. Well, I'm not worried about dipshit, Sufyan. I'm worried about protecting my portfolio, protecting my family, and not being read on a play. Everybody can make up their own mind. I don't hate on anybody that does buy and hold. I tried it from 2021 to late 2023. It didn't work out so well. And if something's not working, I'm willing to change my strategy, and I've done very well changing my strategy. Marco says, my stupidity was believing Matt and Trey. I never sold. I'm negative 35,000. Marco, what a lot of people don't know is the reason I started my channel in July of 2021 was being mad at Matt and Trey for encouraging people to buy call options and not sell. You guys have watched me over the last 3 years. What have I said into every run-up of every ticker? Take the fucking money, have brackets, protect your portfolio. They're going to come back down. You can buy the dips again if you love the stock. I made a lot of money in June of 2021, not listening to Matt and Trey. And then I gave some of it back, buying shares after that at 30, 40 bucks. And I held that to my own detriment in partisanship with you guys for 2 years. And it pisses me off that I gave some of that money back. I knew better but I thought we had a chance, and it didn't work out. So time to change the strategy. We changed the strategy in late August/September of 2023. Never looked back, never been doing better. What else? Marco says the only honest person I've seen is Tony. Well, I appreciate that. There's a lot of people that twist the story, Marco, and make up stories in their own head. I've always been very transparent with you guys, and I'm always happy to answer questions here. If you have a question about anything I've done, anything I'm thinking, anything I will do, all you got to do is come here and ask. There's no secret story that I tell you here live that I am not talking about all day, every day in Discord. But I'm just so tired of the liars and the conspiracy theorists and the haters and the trolls that I don't do a lot of YouTube. But we play these plays all day, every day. Am I right, Mediocre?
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day, all day. Just because I'm not making 5 videos a day, don't think that I'm not watching it all day.
I mean, how long did we talk about my trade that was going on today?
All day. All fucking day. And not just you, everybody who's participating in the conversation and who has their own thoughts about how they want to trade, what their plays are. There's no direction. There's no instructions. Nope. Everybody, it's a group think, a mind think, a sharing of DD. And then everybody takes their own personal situation and makes up their own mind. That's the beauty of it. But what are we not doing? We're not saying buy and hold. It's going to $5,000. There's 5 billion synthetic shares. Here's the reality. Here's the high probability. And then do what you want. Do what you want. And not everybody has the same plan, and that's fine.
Nope. In fact, a lot of us are trading. Some are selling calls. Some
Mediocre and I are doing something completely opposite right now. I'm all in cash. I own GameStop. He owns no GameStop, and I own no AMC for a few more weeks.
That's on AMC.
I'm ready to buy back in. I need to watch it for a couple more weeks.
Tony and I aren't even in the same stocks, for God's sakes.
It's so funny to me to see people on social media saying we're telling people what to do. Like, you don't have a fucking clue. You're just making yourself look like an idiot to anybody who knows the truth.
Oh, believe me, and they laugh at you guys when just so you know, the people in the Discord, they know the truth and they laugh at you guys.
No, they don't laugh at the retail traders. They laugh at the people pushing the false narratives.
Yes, correct. That's what I meant. Not
the retail traders. We are here to be a voice of reason and experience, and people that are actually making money in this play to try and help folks. If you choose to reach out, if you don't, do your thing. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to convince anybody to do anything. We're here as a resource if you choose to want to open up your mind a little bit.
Yeah, just, learn. The information's out there for free. I mean, it's not always free, but, you go on the internet, it's free. But if you want good information, you might have to pay for a Discord to get into or whatever, right? People's time is valuable. You got to understand that, right? But I talk about it with people all the time, and I know Tony does as well. It is what it is. I'm not in it to. I'm not preaching to you to come follow me. I want your money. I don't give a shit. I make my money in the market. Tony makes his money in the market. That's just how we are. You don't want to follow me. You don't believe me. Don't listen to me. I don't give a shit. We're good.
Yeah, as soon as somebody says something crosswise to me, I block them. I really don't care about followers or subs. But if you want to have a conversation, you want to learn, you want to debate even, that's fine. Just be an adult about it.
That's the thing is, I don't know everything, and I'll be the first one to tell you that. I don't. I learn shit every day.
And we've made mistakes along the way, mediocre, right?
That's right.
But we learn from the mistakes and we pivot and we use that mistake to not make it again. We don't use it to hate on the world. We own up to our mistakes and we move on. The Elemental channel says, can you explain why my AMC is 195 after the reverse split? Because of the reverse split. Used to have 300, now I have 81. I don't know how 300 gets to 81. It should have gone to 300, would go down to 30. Then you'd get about, what was it, mediocre? About a 7% bonus.
But he could have owned more ape, which could have helped him.
Yeah, it's hard to answer without knowing exactly how many AMC and ape you had. But
yeah,
if they were 50-50, you should be somewhere around 38 shares, I would think, 36. How do I join the Discord? It is free to anybody who is a member supporting the YouTube channel. So go on a desktop, find the join button, or in any video description, you can find the link to join the channel. It's 16 cents a day. Why do I charge $5 a month? Because I don't want, I want to keep out idiots. I don't want it to be a meme stock land. I want
but
people.
There's a bigger reason, you guys, and I'll tell you what it is. It's the tools that Tony has for the information that we get quickly. You know, that stuff costs money. Like, you're not gonna. Yeah, there's free versions of it, but if you want solid information, it costs money. I'm just going to tell you that. But
every subscription I pay for the tools, $75 a month. Do that times 10.
Huck's dad makes a very good point, Tony, if you could put that comment up.
Huck's dad, where is he? All right. He says buy and hold is for long-term investing in growth stocks you can pass on to your kids and grandchildren. I would expand on that. That is an excellent point. Buy and hold is for companies that have a long history of profits and positive earning. Same thing, sorry. Long history of increasing revenues and positive earnings. That's what you want to get a good entry on, buy and hold. If you're buying and holding a money-losing company, you're going to get obliterated.
Yep.
Warren Buffett was not talking about buy and hold money-losing companies. Just wasn't. So if we're speculating in squeeze stocks, just call it for what it is, understand the risk, and be willing to be flexible. Because I've watched 50 of them over the last 3 years. Most of them have not worked out except for the nimble people willing to trade it.
I also want to add, Tony, that Warren Buffett in the beginning was a put seller.
I did not know that, but I know he's always been a value investor in his journey of analyzing stocks as a value investor changed over time. And one day we'll talk about that. Maybe go read the book, The Intelligent Investor, if you're looking for a good book to read. But yeah, he's a good person to model yourself after for a lifetime of investing. Smart plays. Anya knows that I call myself a bottom feeder. We're looking for blue chip companies with a long history of positive, growing revenues and positive earnings that are out of favor at the moment, that we can make a value case for, and we can buy them cheap and then just hang on for a couple years, as long as we did our work to convince ourselves that this profitable company can become profitable to the extent that it was in previous years. We get outsized market returns. We're looking for 40 or 50% instead of 15 or 20%. That's the bulk of the portfolio. Then the fun part, the everyday, what do we talk about all day? the fun shit like this, but we're not investing our entire portfolio in the fun stuff because why? The risk. You've got to what's the word? You've got to understand the risks so that you don't overcommit capital. You don't want to mortgage your house on a risky play. Take a little bit, and if you're right, that's going to boost your overall portfolio returns. If you're wrong, then you didn't wipe yourself out.
Yeah, I don't want to see people blowing up accounts. It's not worth it.
Anya says, how do people join the Discord? Again, guys, I'm already 20 minutes past when I promised my beautiful wife who's sitting here tapping her toes mediocre. She said, you said you're going to be done at 10 o'clock. To join the Discord, just go into the video description or on a desktop and look for the join button. I don't talk about it a lot because people love to hate on anyone that mentions a Discord. I really don't care if you join or not, but we have a great group. And I'm in there from when I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning till this late at night. And anybody with a badge next to their name, if I'm lying, say I'm lying. Huck's dad says also buy and hold precious metals. For some people, that's a great strategy. I like to buy precious metals when they're at a cyclical low and then hold them for 10, 20 years. Absolutely. Sufyan says, Crismo, congrats on the gains. What did Crismo post? Sufyan, what did I miss?
I'll tell you. It's over here.
It's over on your chat.
Yeah, it says, if nothing happens this week, I make hundreds of dollars from the open options.
We have people, even if the stock is trading flat, guys, we have people, depending on their portfolio size, making hundreds of dollars a week, even if their stocks are trading flat or going down, making hundreds, some making thousands of dollars per week using very basic strategies. You don't even need to join the Discord. Just go watch videos about how to do the wheel strategy. But if you need someone to kind of like hold your hand or ask questions to, we're here for you. That's all I can say. We're just a tool. There's plenty of them out there. You don't need to pay for anything. Anya says, Tony doesn't lie, neither does mediocre. Thank you, Anya.
I appreciate that, Anya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have gone way past the time that I promised. And mediocre, I don't know if you promised your wife when we'd be done, but we want to get up early so we can hit it fresh in the morning. I did an AMC video yesterday talking about what I'm worried about, why I'm not holding AMC right now, why I want to get back in, but I'm being patient for a couple of weeks. I do have long calls on AMC. I don't have shares because I got out in that run up. I made a lot of money and I'm waiting and I'm ready to get back in. It feels really weird to not own it. Mediocre still owns it. You still own AMC, right, Mediocre?
I have contracts. I don't own it yet. I'm trying to own it though.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back in, but it's not right at the point where I'm comfortable. GameStop, I own GameStop. I'm mostly in cash on my meme stock portion of my portfolio. I'm hoping to capitalize on a GameStop run up. If it doesn't happen, then if GameStop and AMC fall, I still got that cash to buy in on dips. So that's where I'm at. And if they run up, I'll pile into GameStop. And I have long call options on AMC. Why am I buying stock in GameStop and not AMC? The balance sheet, the income statement. AMC is going to be diluting. GameStop probably is done diluting. So I'm weighing my risk in over the next couple of weeks. And how the next couple of weeks plays out, I don't know. As I take positions in one or either, I will provide occasional videos and let y'all know. I don't hate either stock. I'm trying to trade them both smartly preserve my capital, maximize my gains.
Tony, I just want to thank the chat and the viewers for having a beer with us tonight. Appreciate you all.
We love you guys. Thank you for your time. Share the video. Tell your friends about the channel. I know it's not always popular. I know, trust me, all the hate mail and comments I get every day. But if I can help a couple people, and we've helped a lot, it is worth it. And if you don't like the message, then just don't watch. There's plenty of other channels with a different message, and I'm sure they're happy to have you over there. So with that being said, Mediocre, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for your time. Anya, thank you. Everybody that's a sub to the channel, I appreciate it. Longtime viewers, I appreciate you. Discord members, I appreciate you more than you know. And next up, I've had a GameStop video simmering in the pot now for 3 days. We're going to drop some bombs on these GameStop hopium pushers. But I don't want to rug pull everybody when we're excited about this week. But I do want to at least talk about how proper financial analysis is done. And again, I'm going to go back to that Venn diagram. We've got our real financial analysis, and then we've got our momentum play. And there's two buckets, and I happily jump between them, but I don't ever get them mixed up. There's a lot of GameStop people getting them mixed up. And I'd prefer they not do that because they are misleading people with bad due diligence. So we'll clear it up when I do the GameStop video. I don't know when I'll do it. It's the information is ready. Just trying to make sure I drop it at an appropriate time. And it's just educational. It's not going to be dunking on anybody. It's going to be providing you indisputable information. And maybe, some learning. Again, I'm a value investor. I'm a momentum trader. They don't mix. I just hop. I hop between each one. It's important to know where you're at in a play. Don't mix them up. Don't mix them up. Groundhog Eater says, I learned how to make money on Tony's channel. If I can learn, anybody can learn. I try and keep it as simple
He's got
as I
a
can.
head, Tony.
I have been teaching people this stuff for 30 years as a manager in my corporate job. I had a corporate job for 15 years. I've told you guys this story. I started in my 20s a investing club for my employees where we sat around after work and I had them pitch stock ideas. And then we did what? As a group, I taught them how to do financial analysis on a play. And then everybody learned, and then we voted, and we all pooled our money as I don't think we were a nonprofit, but we were a registered entity. We pooled our money and we invested it. And when I finally left managing that group as their boss, this was a high-tech company. We dissolved the group and everybody walked away with a profit. And hopefully they walked away learning a little bit of something too. I just enjoy doing this. I always have for decades. Don't fucking listen to these liars and haters that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't been doing this a long time. These people don't know me. They know nothing about me. They just lie because why? They don't want you getting the real information. That's all I can say. With that, Mediocre, we're going to call it a night, and I'm going to play the outro. Peace out. Get some sleep. We'll see y'all in the morning.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last.